Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing and Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly and the DeLorean. Gotta love the Cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Guys, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you some facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Kevin.
I'm your host, Travis.
And I'm your host, Christina.
Travis! We did it. We landed our biggest celebrity guest of all time. We have Christina here.
It only took 3 seasons, which I think is early for a podcast our size to pull in a big celeb.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, she is. I mean, I obviously will let Christina eventually speak on the podcast that we've invited her on, but she is famous in the world of board games.
I was going to say that I needed to clarify that I am Christina Rouse, not Christina Aguilera, if that matters.
Oh, snap.
I know.
Kev.
Sorry.
Wrong, Christina. I don't know. But yeah, I am Christina, and I do a podcast with Kevin, Blue Peg, Pink Peg. And I'm super stoked to join you guys because I love me some movies from my childhood.
It's awesome. It's great to have you. I know you both are a part of the great Blue Peg, Pink Peg podcast. It's very fantastic. I enjoy listening to it myself. I don't even own a board game, and I find it entertaining. So good job to the both of you. Is there a Free Willy themed board game?
Ooh, I don't think the Free Willy IP is open for board games. There's a lot of whale games, if that matters, but nothing.
According to BGG, there was a Free Willy game that came out in 1995, and it looks as bad as you would expect it to look.
We should play it, Kevin, and review it on our podcast.
I think we could make that happen. It's a Milton Bradley game. God, it's like really bad cartoon anime. This looks like a stinker. It's got a BGG rating of 3. So
ooh, okay. Oh,
that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Out of how many? What's the
700?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be a really good game. Is 700? Travis, I brought Christina on because you hate board games, and I just thought this would be a great way to confront the tension in our relationship. Haley, who is our new CEO, also thought it would be a good way to kind of confront the tension. So, Christina, welcome. Thank you for being here. As Trav and I have an immense, groundbreaking moment in our relationship.
Well,
that is slander.
I don't pressure anybody about board games. So Travis, you are safe. No worries. If you don't play board games, that's no problem. But if by the end of this episode you want a Free Willy board game, I can make it happen.
I think I do. I think I already want the Free Willy board game, specifically so I don't have to play it. But getting into board games is a thing that's like on my, it's just a perpetual bucket list thing. Like one day I'm going to get into them. Yeah. One day. It's not, maybe next month I'll meet somebody. We can hang out, do board games. Kevin, you live too far away. It's just not feasible.
No, I was going to say, you should always have something on your bucket list. So you should keep it there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got board gaming and maybe meeting Morgan Freeman since Christina Aguilera didn't show up today. It's next best option.
You should really get on that Morgan Freeman thing because I don't know if he's got many more years, man. He is not. I'm not saying he's going to die tomorrow. That. I'm just saying he's not a spring chicken anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Why would you put that in the universe? Yeah. This is why I think you're miserable to play board games with. You're so pessimistic.
It's true. That's why I never think I'm going to win. But no, Travis did play Chronicles of Crime, Christina.
Oh, so that's a good one. I love me some murder. So That's good.
I do love a board game I can play alone while drinking, sadly. I think that's fun. If you got more of those, is Free Willy a by yourself sad drinking game? I will play it.
But
Depends on which one you're talking about.
Well, Christina, now people don't believe us when we tell them Uncle Doug, all these crazy stories about Uncle Doug. They're like, surely someone that magical can't exist in the real world. But now you have met Uncle Doug. I mean, can you lend a little credibility to Trav and I that we don't already have?
Yeah, I could be your third-party witness when you need someone to testify in legal manners about Uncle Doug. I can do that for you. It's funny because my dad was in town recently, and he is an Army veteran. And as Army veterans do, the one place they always, hang out is the VFW. So we went on down to the VFW. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a VFW, but some of them are like legit places to like do lots of things, eat, drink, bingo, like whatever. They're fun places to be. So we went down to the local VFW and we're sitting there, and as Army vets do, a lot of military veterans do, a challenge coin was slapped down on the counter in front of my dad. And I don't know if you all know about the challenge coin challenge, but like it's a legit thing. And none other than Uncle Doug himself challenged my dad with a challenge coin.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. That sounds like Doug.
Yeah, you know what? I bet Trish was there and he was trying to impress her.
Every time.
He did have a lady friend with him, and I am sad to say that my dad did not have his challenge coin on him. So we had to buy Uncle Doug his favorite beverage of choice that night at the VFW.
Oh, wow. Man, classic Uncle Doug. He can read a room and realize the easiest way to get a free drink. It's just, the man's a miracle that way.
I think he was also eyeing my dad's pockets and didn't see an outline of a coin anywhere and just knew he was an easy target.
That makes sense.
That's years of military training for him, too. That's where he learned it.
He's eyeing pockets.
He's got a good eye. Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah.
That's wonderful. I like hearing that about Uncle Doug. And in fact, I had never seen the interior of a VFW. I just found myself Googling VFW interior, blown away. They got a lot of fun stuff going on in there. I've been missing out.
Yeah.
There's a full bar. There's one that's just got a little blimp, Budweiser blimp inside the mess hall, I guess. I don't know. I need to go inspect my local VFW, see what they got going on in there.
They definitely come in all shapes and sizes.
Well, speaking of shapes and sizes, Travis, now look, we got a guest on. Okay, I understand we're doing a movie called Free Willy, but I need you to just have some restraint and not just make a bunch of ding-dong jokes, okay?
I know. I'm with you, Kev. I respect where you're coming from. I'm embarrassed that you have to reprimand me in front of company. I get that. And I vowed this morning when I woke up, I said less Willy. Free Willy, but less Willy. Let's keep it in check today. So I'm going to do my best. If one slips out, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, one maybe here and there. We can live with that, okay? It's just I don't want a long, hard run of ding-dong jokes, Travis.
Yeah. No, I get it. I've been trying to wean myself off, so I'm okay.
Thank God.
We'll get there.
Thank God. So, Christina, you've heard I've tried to warn him, okay?
Yeah. Can I make ding-dong jokes?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
You're
cool,
a guest.
cool.
You can make as many ding-dong jokes as you want. That's fine. Just not Travis, because he gets, you ever seen a record when the needle just keeps bouncing and gets stuck in the same spot? That's Travis with a good ding-dong joke.
At least it's a good one, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just got the one. That's great, man. Well, speaking of Free Willy, man, it was released on July 16th, 1993, directed by Simon Wincer, writers Keith Walker, Corey Blackman, starring Jason James Richter. Try saying that 5 times fast. Lori Petty, and the strangest casting in the movie, Michael Madsen. It's just, who cast Michael Madsen as a nice foster dad?
I think it was a logical part for him before he did Reservoir Dogs. Like, he had to test out his chops as a foster dad before he showed up in Reservoir Dogs.
Is that how it's? So it's at some point he was gonna ask Jesse, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, definitely. I kept expecting him to do something creepy or murder somebody because he plays that role so many times in different movies. I was just like, he's so. Like, and he's very, like, quietly reserved. It's a good performance. Like, as far as performances in the movie go, I next to Kiko, the whale, I think that Michael Madsen's right up there, man. But, golly, I just kept expecting him to do something weird.
Well, I think we can all say and agree that being a foster parent is the hardest role to play. So it probably wasn't that hard of a leap to go from foster dad to villainous Bud and Kill Bill. I don't know.
Well, they lay the foster dad and, like, you're not my dad.
Yeah.
Like, they lay that on hard. That comes up like 8 or 9 times in this movie. And every time it's like, Al, stop it. It hurts me when you say that.
But also, it's like in the movie, like he's only been there like a week. It's like, yeah, we know. Like, we got to warm up to it. It's not like day one we're calling each other dad and son. Right? It's a lot to expect.
Well, I told Uncle Doug I was not going to call her Aunt Trish. I've already told him that.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
I just wanted to be clear. Just want to be clear. It was too soon, you know. Well, Travis, you know, you're so talented and you're smart and just a snappy dresser. And I am so grateful to be here with you. And also, I'm so grateful that you did that 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we're never going to change the name to because I keep buttering you up before we do the segment.
Yeah, and I'm just glad you read the things about me that I put in the script for you to read. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So now, what I'm calling this here 6 Degrees, I'm calling it the Cadillac Man effect. Okay,
Oh.
And if you know, you know. Have either of you seen the movie The Cadillac Man?
Yeah, we got Robin Williams.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have not. I have not seen that one.
Yeah, well, I haven't either. But the Cadillac Man effect, it's in full effect here because if you remember our last movie, Kev, that was Pretty Woman. You remember that movie?
Yep, story checks
Had Julia Roberts in it. She was, in fact, the Pretty Woman.
Was that
if you
the
recall.
one with Tina Turner when she stole that baby?
Nope, that was Labyrinth.
Okay,
That was a different
got it.
movie altogether. Yeah, this is Julia Roberts hanging out with Richard Gere there. Pretty Woman. She was in Hook with Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Play Tinkerbell in that. I remember that.
That's right. And that there Robin Williams was in Cadillac Man with Lori Petty, who's in today's film.
Shut up. Shut up.
Well, I would like to, but I have more to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Now you know Tim Robbins.
Oh, yeah. He was also in
Check-
Top Gun this season.
Yeah, that's right. He was in Top Gun with Michael Ironside, who's in our movie today. Right?
Yeah.
Tim Robbins was also in Jacob's Ladder with the one Jason Alexander, who was in Pretty Woman. Right?
What? That was actually
Right, so-
a really good one. Sometimes when you do these, and I'm going to be honest, I get a little frustrated because it's just like
You say this every time.
you
I feel
just-
like you should be less frustrated now. You should have learned
I
that
just
I'm okay at what I do.
just like my dad, I just never stop being disappointed. Okay.
Oh, I see how
It's
this
just,
works. Okay, cool.
I have a constant well of disappointment.
Oh boy.
But
All right.
it's just built
Well,
around this.
But
segment.
Robin Williams and Tim Robbins were together in Cadillac Man, so it's the Cadillac Man effect. We've got two people. We got two connections through Cadillac Man cast members. It's prophetic. Cadillac Man's got to be in the bin.
Now, you see, here's another thing that irritates me, Travis. You could be doing
Okay, here it
this.
comes.
You could be doing this good on 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre every time we do it, but you just stepped it up because Christina's here and you wanted to impress her.
I mean, she's on a really big, important podcast, Kev. I gotta.
And I'm like super impressed with like people connecting people from movies that I've never seen.
See?
Yep.
Now I only Googled it for like 25 minutes. I put in the work.
I appreciate it, man. It was fantastic. Travis, I'm
Thank you.
just busting your chops, buddy. You did a terrific job. How about
Thank you.
but you know something else? You just do all the segments on this show, so I really don't have
I
any.
do most of the segments.
Yeah, I don't really have any right to gripe at you, Travis. But how about some of those preview reviews where you go out there and you search the depths and wilds of the internet and bring back people's opinions about the movie that we're covering, which of course today is Free Willy.
Yeah, and so in the depths of the internet, I just use Letterboxd. I don't know if you think I'm using the dark web or like a VPN. I'm not. I'm just going on Letterboxd and taking screenshots of other people's ideas. Okay. But we got one here. This is a 4.5 star. People that like it, right? That's where we start here. 4.5 star from Chase is Based. This is August 30th, 2022. bold out of the top. He says, tears running down my face as I type this.
Oh.
Yeah. Title case. This is important for Chase. He says, if Free Willy has 1 million fans, I'm one of them. If Free Willy has 10 fans, I am one of them. If Free Willy has only 1 fan, then I'm that one. If Free Willy has no fans, that means I am no longer on Earth. Oh. If the world stands against Free Willy, I am against the world. And then he has a quote, which I assume is from the movie. I don't know why I'm on this podcast. I remember nothing. It says, you only have to do it once. Was that in the movie? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It
was great.
It was the pep talk Jesse gave to Willy before he freed himself.
Okay, I assumed as much, but yeah, so that's what Chase is into it.
You know what? Chase got me there because I was like, what's he going to do with 0? Because he's been like the 1 in all of those. How's his math going to work out? And man, it checked out. I thought that was, he was like, I am dead if there are no Free Willy fans. Damn, dude.
That's hardcore. Hardcore.
No,
I read that. I was like, Chase is based.
Christina, are you that big of a Free Willy fan?
I gotta tell you, we'll probably talk about this more when we get into the plot, but like, I hadn't seen this movie in a hot minute, right? Mm-hmm. I am a product of the 80s, ergo I was about 11 when this came out, and it was my jam when I was 11, and I know why. I can see why. So I'm not as hardcore as Chase. I might be one of the 1 million fans. How about that?
Yeah. If it got down to like 10, you'd start questioning your decisions. You're like, maybe people are right about this Free Willy movie.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, what I learned is that they're on the Letterboxd. Most people don't rate it very highly. It's got a 2.9 overall score on Letterboxd. Okay. And I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought, I didn't watch it as a kid. I don't know why. It was called Free Willy. I should have been all over it. I don't know what I was doing. But 2.9. So that's kind of low. And what a lot of people who love the movie, their review was just hating the Letterboxd review. It was just people being like, why is this rated so low? You guys are idiots. What, do you hate whales? What, do you hate boys? What, do you hate boys who love whales? It was just very aggressive toward people who didn't love it, which I thought was entertaining. So I got a few of those here. We got one here from Tara Lundrigan, probably your real name. Check her out on LinkedIn. This is July 8th, 2022. It says, the low rating on this pisses me off. People are miserable. This was my first rewatch in probably a decade. Free Willy was an extremely important film during my childhood that definitely helped mold me into the environmental activist I am today. Nostalgia aside, this is actually a fantastic movie. The pacing is perfect. It takes time to tell the story, to flesh out the characters and make you care. The bond between Jesse and Willy is so pure and undeniable. 2 sad orphans taken away from their family. And I didn't consider that a spoiler-heavy review because I think that's on the cover.
That
should have been the tagline.
2 orphans. Christina, what you had some feelings while he was reading that review. What did you think?
I'm very struck by the fact that Tara found that this was the movie that launched her into environmental activism. Like, wow. I mean, I also saw the same movie and felt like at the end I should have called the number. Like, I did get that in. But I don't know if it changed the trajectory of my like environmental awareness outside of whales. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she picked up things that I wasn't picking up.
There was, the moment for me, I'm not an environmental activist. Like, I'm not leaping off of Greenpeace boats with spears trying to fight, like, harpooning whale people. But what I am is I do recycle stuff. Which is that's pretty good. Recycling's good for the environment. But the moment that got me as a kid was, I don't know if you remember in one of the Captain Planet, they would do those like shorts about how to save the planet, and one of them was like cutting the little 6-pack rings, and they showed like this like turtle or a fish just like dying on this 6-pack ring. I was like, I will never let one of those things out of my sight without slicing them bad boys.
Yep. Yeah. I think those were also in our DARE program as kids from the 80s and the 90s, was like slice your Coke rings so you don't get stuck as a kid.
I thought it was more like slice your six. Like kids, we don't care if you drink a six pack. Slice the
Fine,
rings.
but slice the rings.
Yeah.
Think of the ducks.
Kids, have a sixer, just don't smoke crack, which is the takeaway that I got from Dare.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, what else you got on those preview reviews?
Well, I just wanted to cap off the whole tirade against folks who are rating it so low, and that, you know, prime example here, Sarah simply goes by Sarah, 4.5 stars, loves the film clearly. This is from a couple weeks ago, March 23rd of this, 2023, sorry, a year ago. And just all caps, why is this rated so low on here? I mean, you could really feel the agitation and just the disappointment this person has with most of society. But then we got people kind of in the middle, right? And that's where I found myself, and I couldn't agree more here with the J Hall 0610. This is from October 17th of last year. It's simply at 3 stars, not enough Willy. Could use more Willy, I think.
Is that
I think that whale was on screen enough, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say, and we'll probably talk about this when we go through the plot. You know, obviously, thinking about the irony of the film and like the plot and the theme of the movie while they're exploiting a whale is kind of weird. But the whale's fantastic in it, great performance. But the fake whale in it, there are some times that it is so clearly a fake whale, it just looks like just a chunk of foam floating in the water.
Okay, Kevin, we're gonna have to put a pin in this conversation when we get to like the meat of the animatronics, because I have some comments about it.
I mean, to be fair, Willy still looks better than Bruce from Jaws, okay? But they had the benefit of like 20 years of animatronic whale technology they could have worked with. You know what I mean? Like, when did Jurassic Park come out? And the animatronics in that look amazing.
Same year, I think.
Same year.
Yeah, I think I saw something that said like 93 was like one of the best cinematic years for film because of all of the things that came out that year. I don't know.
Nice.
You'd think it was 1986 if you listen to Uncle Duck.
Yeah.
And also, the speaking of irony, the meat of the animatronics is one of my favorite sentences I've ever heard. That was very well done.
Thanks.
We got people who are low. Well, you didn't say it. It was her. People who are low.
I'm taking credit because I
you didn't say
invited
it.
Christina.
You didn't say it.
Aguilera, to be fair, but still, we have a Christina here.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, we got the last one here. We got 1.5 star from Dirk H. This is from, I don't know, right around Thanksgiving of 2013. This is an old one. This is an internet classic. He calls it Jaws for Kids. Porn for killer whale fetishists. Gold mine for penis joke lovers. A sigh and an eye roll of the eyes for film lovers, possessors of common sense, and adults with functioning brains.
Wow. Oh, he should have just left it after the penis joke lovers. Like,
Yeah.
that would have been a stand-up review.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like everyone always tells me in my life, Kevin, end your conversation about 3 sentences earlier, and then I set my legs on fire and spit in their mouth.
See, and that's a prime example.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect example.
Yeah, I was just
Can I just make a comment on like the fact that how new some of these reviews are? Like, I think the 2013 was one of the oldest ones we grabbed, but like, I didn't realize people were still watching this movie. Like, now.
I would hazard a guess that a lot of people our age that grew up watching this movie show this movie to their kids.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because I wanted to show this to Harper. Harper's my daughter. She's 13. And she didn't want to watch it with me.
What? Did she think there was murder in this?
Yeah, murdering of whales.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
She was out. She is an animal lover, so I think she would have been happy sad with this movie.
Oh yeah. There are moments when Willy does that like cry. I'm like, oh, that just hits me. That just hits me.
Know.
I just suspected most people had watched it recently because they have podcasts. That's just the reason people do anything.
Yep, that's another good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else you got there,
All right,
Trev? That's it. You're done.
I think I'm done.
Okay,
I think I'm fresh out. Yeah, we got more in the post credit section of the show.
Thank
but
God.
for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'll leave it off with Dirk.
Fantastic. You brought in some good stuff this time. Last time, Travis, you brought in absolute garbage. Your reviews were just terrible last time. And so this is just, you know what, Christina, you're going to have to come back because Trav has really stepped his game up.
Well, he thought it was Christina Aguilera, so what can I say?
Yeah.
I was prepared. Yeah,
That's true.
I will say, though, I think people were a little less entertaining when reviewing Pretty Woman versus Free Willy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, man, let's jump into this plot, shall we? Now, Warner Brothers, you get that nice little title card, and you know, you're not going to start a movie about a killer whale called Free Willy without just opening credits of whales free in the ocean, just splashing, having a good time, enjoying their whale lives, and that goes on for an excessive amount of time. Like, I for a minute thought that like David Attenborough was gonna like come over the top with narration. But,
yeah, I was watching it and I was like, yeah, the symphony music. It was very like, this is a beautiful, beautiful scene that would never end. I just kept saying, like, I don't think there are this many wild orcas that they captured on film for this scene, enter scene.
In fact, I have a note here that says shots of Willy everywhere.
See, and this is what you would have come down on me for that, but I'm going to let it
No,
slide.
I'm just the whale. Travis, goodness gracious. Well, that scene just goes on for quite a while, and then you get like a little stinger in the music, like a little, and then it's evil fishermen with binoculars, and you know they're evil because the music gets scary. Love it. I love that about kids movies so much that like they just tell you how to I don't have to worry about complex characters with complex motivation. They just hit you with the music and I know like, oh, these guys are bad. These guys are bad news.
Yeah, and I think I didn't realize that guys who captured orcas were just dudes. It didn't look like a very like secret, they're broad daylight just running around. I thought that was illegal, but we're just out here doing it broad daylight, just 7 boats and a bunch of hungover fat dudes trapping whales. I thought this was black market stuff we were dealing with. Apparently not.
Yeah, they definitely did not look like legit businessmen. They looked like people they hired on the weekend for $5 and was like, I got a job for you. But I was like, the drastic, to your point, Kevin, like the drastic cut from the beautiful music to what I think at the time people thought was like sinister music, but really is more of that like paradoxical, like bad music, which is kind of comical. Was a little jarring. I was just enjoying a beautiful moment, and then in comes that scene.
Yeah. And it goes on. Also, catching Willy just goes on forever as whale. Like it as whale. Wow.
As
what
a
is
whale.
wrong with
you? I think I might have just slipped into saying whale every 3 seconds. I apologize to all 2 people that are listening to it, both my mom and my grandma. But moving on. This.
What about the title card though? Like
it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It is so bad. Like it's this round logo that says Free Willy and like looks like I don't know, like Sans New Roman time font. It's in this circle of
remember when you could make word art in Microsoft Word?
Yes.
It's exactly that. That's what they did.
And it's
it's like they outsourced the intro to like a graphic design intern from a local community college, and they learned just how to start using that animated art in Word and PowerPoint.
And it's like it's to describe it, it's like, okay, so you got Free and Willy, the lettering, and then they come together like a set of jaws, right, round, and then they circle Willy's little fin, and then they love this so much that they do like a crossfade to a nice little round city square. And you're like, God, this is the worst garbage I've ever seen. But it does get us to the next scene where we meet Jesse, who is our protagonist of the film, and his crew of street urchins. I don't know if that's, you could say street urchins, right? Yeah. So they're kids that are kind of out there on the street, and they're hustling and grifting, hey, could I get a buck? Could I get a little money? We spent all our money in the museum. I got to take a bus home. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jesse's pretty good at it. He gets a few bucks. Perry, his pal, not holding up his end of the deal.
Well, I was surprised they collected, I don't know, we'll guesstimate maybe $4 amongst their crew there. And they were like, oh, this isn't enough money to get any food. But like back then in 93, like $4 would have gotten you like a hot dog from a stand and like a soda pop. So they could have spent their money.
Yeah.
That's what back when the dollar menu meant something, you know?
Right,
They could have really made out with
They
that.
could
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, and when I didn't realize, because I hadn't seen the movie before, that at this point Jesse was an orphan, because I do no research before I get into these movies, and I was like, man, these kids are dicks. And then later I was like, oh, they're hungry. That's different.
Yeah.
Travis.
That's on me. That's my bad. I didn't know.
Well, they're so hungry. They're like eyeballing. It's a little outdoor cafe, and there's a couple eating, and they don't finish their food. So they like. There's a couple things that get me in this. They hop over the fence. They're like lurking in the bushes, like Trav on a Friday night, and then they hop over the bushes, grab this half-eaten food off the table, and run away. And a waiter chases them. Like, dude, do you really want this half-eaten food back? You were just gonna throw it away anyway. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I guess it's just the principle of the thing, you know? Maybe it's like,
But
I don't know.
it's already been paid for. Like, give it.
I
let
know.
the kids have. Obviously, they're hungry. You know, give them a regular sandwich. Don't give them a half-eaten sandwich. I'm just a little disappointed in the concierge. Is that the right word, concierge?
He had a bow tie on, and so they probably had an appearance to upkeep of like kicking out the riffraff.
Yeah, you don't want no scraggly-headed kids with denim jackets in your establishment. I get that, but well, they continue their food stealing rampage by steal. Here's also the geography of the area that they're in that just confuses me throughout the movie. Sometimes it's urban, then magically they're in the middle of the suburbs, and then they're back under like a highway and a skate park. It's just a really weird. And like there's times where there's a wharf and there's oceans, but then there's like suburbs that don't look like they fit. Anyway, it's wild. But they end up stealing themselves a sweet birthday cake, like a nice big sheet cake, out of the back of a catering van.
Yeah, I had issues with that scene because if they were legitimately hungry, like there was probably, I mean, the lady carried out a whole thing of other food that they put in the truck. Like, why did they grab the cake when they could have grabbed, I don't know, some protein maybe? And like, but then I was like, oh, they're kids. Like, of course they grabbed the cake. Like, they're not smart. I get it.
Yeah, well,
So this uncovered cake in the
that's
back
what
of the
got
van.
me.
What are
Yes.
Come on, take better care of the cake. You're cake people. Also, later with the cake is one of the more triggering scenes, and I didn't know I'd be triggered by it when a big foot lands in it. I was like, oh, that's no good. You ruined the cake. And I haven't felt the same since.
Well, they take their ill-gotten cake and they head on over to the underpass skate park that's surrounded by what appears to be a murder scene. And they're just eating what I like to call hand cake. They're just getting big handfuls of cake and just chowing down, Trav.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, you see how dirty they are. I mean, I get it. They're kids. It's a bad situation. One kid's eating ketchup on something and I thought was cake for a while. I don't know.
Well, and then they're like sharing war stories about how they've all broken out of their said, residencies, whether it was other foster placements or like facilities. Like they're like, yeah, I just want a place to stay. It's like, you're 10. And it was just, I don't know. And I also think like back then, people always felt like the only seedy place in a city we can shoot is under an underpass because that's where bad stuff happens. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's fair. And then they had the Goonies scene where they're all running from the cops there. But I don't know. We'll get into it when we get into it, but I have other things about the delinquency of this group.
Right. Well, they're enjoying the last few remnants of their cake in the skate park underpass when all of a sudden the fuzz shows up, and the kids decide to run from the fuzz for some reason. So maybe some of them got some warrants or some papers on them. I don't know, but they take off running, and Trav, that's when that foot just smooshes right into the center of that cake.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm assuming as kids and kids that have roamed the street grifting and stealing things, they probably don't want to see the cops. They probably realize they've done something wrong, and in their mind, it's worthy of a cop chasing them at full speed under an underpass in their cop car. So, and again, they're kids; they're not very bright. But one does step on the cake, and I think that's at least 6 months in prison in my mind. I think.
Get them.
It's true. Well, there's a group of 4 friends, but Perry and Jesse break off. They're like, "Hey, see you guys later," which is, I'm curious that they took time to say bye to each other when they're running from the police. But they keep running. I guess they feel like, we split up 2 groups. They can't chase us both. Well, Jesse and Perry end up climbing through a fence that they somehow magically found the only gap that they could crawl through right about the time the police show up. And they sneak into what appears to be a shed, very similar to Uncle Doug's outshed. A lot of things in there. You're kind of like, this is sort of a creepy place.
Broken glass and all.
Broken glass. You see an alarm system on it. Uncle Doug, of course, he's got an alarm on his shed.
In my theory, and I don't know if it's ever made clear, but I assume these kids knew this place existed, and that's how they found the hidden slats of wood to sneak through.
I disagree, because then why would they be surprised? Well, hold on. We'll get there in just a second. But one thing, speaking, Christina, of the delinquency, they immediately get in this shed. They don't even hesitate. They just find spray paint and just start spray painting everything.
And you can tell by what they graffiti on the walls that it's not their first time graffitiing. Like, they definitely have like a tag that they're putting up on the walls. Did it make any sense? Absolutely not. Like, I was trying to discern if it was like saying something, but they're just, they were like, we're in a space that is not ours. Let's tag it with all the spray paint that we find, which is humorous.
Let's prove that we were here recently with the fresh smell of paint.
Yeah, and it's pitch black. Like, how can you spray paint or tag anything in the dark? I don't understand.
It looks like they're just practicing their cursive. It doesn't look like they're putting anything up that's, weird or anything.
Yeah. And they of course, they go into an adjoining area, Travis. And this is why I don't think they knew where they were, because Jesse walks. Perry is rolled in. He's on the other side of the dark, ominous room. No problem. Perry don't care. And I've said that about Perry many times. But Jesse, he's a little more cautious. He seems to be the smarter one of the group. So he heads in, and he ends up right next to, spoiler guys, Willy's tank. And there's somehow lightning that's just specifically in Willy's tank, which seems terrifying. And there's a decent jump scare to be had here, where it's like lightning and then a big scary jaw killer whale face. And Jesse's like, oh, no, I'm out, yo. And he takes off running. But then he stops. Now, what makes him stop? Is my question.
He was probably confused by the lightning as well, and was like, how the heck did that lightning get in that water?
Is that whale getting shocked?
Yeah, and to your point, which I think I agree with, he's probably not been here, and he got really lucky finding that piece of wood that just let him inside. If you walked by something that lit up and looked like a whale smiling at you, and you ran away, you might be like, did I just see a whale? You might turn around and go back and check it out.
Yeah, you're right. I probably would. I do like whales. Well, he does. He turns around and heads back, and him and Willy kind of gander at each other for a second. But the alarm has been triggered, and the police show up and begin pursuing Jesse, where they catch him kind of in the seating area, and just, God, they are rough with this kid. Like, his nose is bleeding. They slam his head down. I was like, y'all need to settle down a little bit. But,
Kevin, it was dark. They might have thought it was just a tiny person, and they didn't know how strong this tiny person was. So I feel like they executed their appropriate police training to apprehend the criminal in this scene. And
we saw what you did with that cake. We
saw.
One of those
stepped all over it.
One of those guys did the Undertaker's finishing move on that kid. They pile drived him. Come on now. That was a little bit much. But standing ominously in the background is Randolph, who this man must have some mystical powers, because I got some notes about this guy. But moving forward, we get a cutaway. He's been arrested, and he's with his, I guess it's like his caseworker, maybe it's social service. Yeah.
Yep.
Dwight, or D-White, as Jesse calls him, at the down at the office. They have a little bit of combative yet friendly banter. I get the sense that they have this conversation at least once a week.
Right.
Yeah, this was like a case of having been a social worker and working for Child Protective Services and foster care. Like, this is probably the most realistic scenes of the movie is in this office. Like this is legit. And this is a tough love conversation. This caseworker is like, I've got a family lined up for you. You're about to come off my caseload. You cannot mess this up because I don't want to have this conversation again. So like I felt all of this scene with Jesse and Dwight. I have some concerns about the punishment, if you will, for his graffiti.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting deal. Like, so having worked in a setting where kids occasionally do community service and that sort of thing, I don't know that I've ever invited a kid who actively damaged my whale tank into like scrub it off and then immediately give them just complete free reign of the place, which we'll get there in a second. But yes, Dwight somehow worked it out that he could basically do community service in lieu of any real punishment for the thing. He also gets to go stay with the Greenwoods, who are going to be his foster family, and then Michael Madsen's there. It's odd. But anyway, there is a little moment there where he's got a very tough veneer. It drops a little bit when he asks about his mom, and Dwight's like, well, we haven't heard from her in 6 years. He's like, well, I just want to know if she's okay. And that little tough veneer drops a little bit. Yeah. Also, there's a pattern with the adults in this movie where they're like nice for a second, and then all of a sudden they kind of like snap on Jesse, like they have multiple personalities. I probably won't comment on it again, but just if you watch this movie for funsies, just pay attention to that, how they're like, Jesse, you're just like, get back to chopping those fish. It's like, settle down, dude. Jesse hops in Dwight's Chevrolet Corsica, Travis. That was my first automobile, and heads on over to that's two Chevy Corsicas in a row in movies. That's there you go. Dwight is heading over to the Greenwoods with Jesse, and he drops Jesse off, and Glenn Greenwood, played by Michael Madsen, has a little bit of dialogue with Dwight, and they make some joke about signing paperwork for a car, and Glenn's like, yeah, this is just a rental. I'm just leasing this kid to see if I want to keep him. They're like, dang, dude.
Yeah, that scene was a little hard to watch because I was like, oh, we're going to boil this whole exchange down into like a commentary about buying a car. I was like, ugh, that didn't sit real good with me.
Yeah, I was wondering if it like is to showcase even Michael Madsen's character's growth, where he's very flippant. Maybe he's not like completely bought in, because we get to the scene in a second where he's like, I'll be happy if it wasn't, just us. But then toward the end of the movie, he's well, we'll get there, but
yeah,
he's very scummy. He's very Michael Madsen here.
You do get the feeling that he's like, Annie, his wife, has talked him into this, and he's just going along because he loves her, and he's like, God, fine. That's what I get for being in love and junk. Now I got this kid eating all my mashed potatoes because they invite him to dinner, and Trav, he gets like 18 helpings of mashed potatoes, and they're just trying to get to know the kid, and I do love some Jesse sass in this movie, and Glenn's like, well, what are you into? What do you like? And he's like, well, I'm not into talking while I eat, and then he just eyeballs him while he's shoveling mashed potatoes in his mouth.
I love it. I'm going to use that sometime in my life. I thought that was a great line.
He's very like, I don't know what kind of acting roles Jesse had or James Richter had before this role, but like he plays a foster kid to like a perfect T. He knows what he needs to say to this foster family for them to get like upset and kick him out. Like he is in this role, and I was very impressed with this acting.
Yeah, very, very good performance. He also, a couple of little notes, he's got a very nice room that they've provided him. This place has got a better view than I can get in like a really good Airbnb. Like, you got full coastline and nice room. He's got a new pair of Nikes in there. He's like, this place sucks. I hate it.
Yeah. I broke so many windows in my house as a kid just from throwing baseballs around and being a jerk. I would never give a boy that age that much glass to break. You kidding me? I put him in the basement. That's where boys go.
Also, he's got like all the window to sneak out of later too, so that's going to come into play. Well, one other couple little things that happen. He's very protective over his book bag, which presumably that's his whole world, right? Like that's all the possessions he has, which that makes a lot of sense. And he also plays after a little dialogue with the parents, and the foster parents. They leave him a little gift that's gift wrapped. He doesn't bother to open it till later in the movie when we need a plot thing to happen. But he then sits on the side of his bed and plays the harmonica sadly.
Okay, he is not playing that harmonica. Can we just all agree about that right now?
He's kind of making a tootly noise out of it. I mean, that constitutes playing it.
Have you played a harmonica, Kevin?
Yeah. I got a harmonica around here somewhere.
Yeah, you need a ton of lung capacity to play a harmonica well. And that kid, his cheeks aren't, his throat, his neck's not puffing. Like, he is not playing that harmonica. The soundtrack came on when he put that thing to his lips. He is not playing that harmonica.
Oh, I thought you were saying like, he wasn't. You mean like the kid actually didn't know how to play harmonica? Yes, okay, yeah. I'm on board with that. Yeah, I think he did not know. I thought you were like, there wasn't no harmonica sound there. And I was like, Christina, listen, I never disagree with you about anything. But I 100% heard some harmonica. Do
you think it's a little cheesy that the sad orphan boy plays a sad harmonica like he's in an old blues movie? Like, what is... I thought that was like, I was like, that's a weird choice. I'm not sure orphans are just carrying around harmonicas. They would probably sell that, I don't know, for food.
Yeah,
I think it's the only thing that they could get you to like hook into his sentiment was like, oh, there is a soft side to Jesse. He's a soulful man, and he plays the harmonica.
He's not just a murderer of cake. He also has a soft side.
Yes, exactly.
In my mind, it was the last thing his mom left him before she took off.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's never alluded to in the plot. I just like to create little subplots in my mind. It's more fun that way. Well,
because he was a baby, right, when his mom left him?
He was very young. She's been gone 6 years, and he's probably about 10 in this, so 10. He was like maybe 4 or 5. Something like that.
What else do you leave a kid, a 4-year-old, but a harmonica? That makes sense, Kevin.
Yeah. The next day, he is being dropped off by Michael Madsen's character at Northwest Adventure Park. Now, this is the park where he has done the damage, and he's got to do the time cleaning up the grime for his crime, if you know what I mean. And Glenn sort of just dropping him off, and he kind of makes sure he knows how to get to the garage where Glenn works. He's presumably either owns, I think he owns it. It's called Greenwoods, and how to get home or back to the foster family house before he leaves him off. And he tells him to go find Randolph. Well, Jesse says nothing. He gives him that stiff upper lip silent treatment, hops on his sweet bike. Apparently he's got a bike
Brand
now.
new.
They also got him. Yeah. Cool. I mean, come on, Glenn and Annie, adopt me. I like bikes and rooms with views. But moving on, Jesse eventually finds out Randolph is in his cottage, and the door's open, so Jesse just strolls right on in Randolph's cottage and starts picking up his, artifacts of his tribe's heritage. And he picks up this wooden orca, and Randolph just pops out of a hole in the ground. He's just like there behind him. And he's like, "What you doing?" Jesus God. Where did you come from?
Can we just... I have a list of like things that are not reflective of reality when it comes to foster placements. This is number 1. There's no way a foster parent would be like, "See you later. Have a good day. Find Randall over there, and we'll catch you at home." Like that, I was like, I don't think that would be allowed.
Especially
like, find me late. Here's a bike. Here's a map. You know how to find your way home. You clearly know the streets better than me because you live here. All right, I have a home that you can come to later if you're hungry.
I mean, if I were going to be a foster parent, that seems about right for me. But that's probably why I'm not. But so Randolph, they have a little bit quick conversation, and Randolph puts him to work with just the driest brush I've ever seen.
That thing ain't working. That's
really
not working.
not.
He's scrubbing. It ain't doing nothing.
So Jesse is cleaning this tank, and Willy swims by, and Jesse says, "You know what? I'm going to go up top and take a look at this whale." So he goes up there, and Willy sort of pops up and startles him, and then Randolph also just pops up again out of nowhere and is like, "Let me tell you about that Willy. His 7,000 pounds of man mangling flesh. He'll rip you to bits and ribbons and shreds. Consider this your Willy warning. And then he just leaves.
Loves to give a good Willy warning, you know? I don't know.
Thanks, Trav.
Wasn't framed well.
Is this the first time that we see the real Keiko, or is this an animatronic Keiko?
I think it's half and half. I think in the tank it's real, and then I think there's some fake Keiko or Kiko in the top of the tank, because you can tell because it sits just a little to the side.
You can't tell, Kevin. You can't tell, and here's why I have a problem.
Okay, let's get to it now.
I could not tell the difference between when the whale was a real whale and when it was an animatronic whale. And I thought they did such a good job with the animatronic that at my 42-year-old trained eye, who have seen a lot of movies with animatronic animals, could not tell the difference.
Well, there's a few key giveaways. When it looks like a block of wood floating in the water, that's
but
a good.
It never did. It never did.
There's a couple of scenes, especially when they're catching the whale in the nets, where it's just like, or when it's out in like the harbor area, where it's like that looks like the fakest thing I've ever seen. They do a pretty good job, and there's like scenes where Jesse is riding on the back of the whale that you're like, that is not a real whale at all, which is probably good. I'm glad they didn't put him on the back of an actual killer whale that could kill the child. So that was probably good. I do appreciate that. But
I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm just now learning there was ever fake whales in this movie. I thought it was a real whale all day. I was like, that whale's trained as that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
we should set it free. It's very smart.
That's
so
fair.
Smart and so real. I was impressed with the animatronics look-alike. Like, I was just like, they did a bang-up job.
It's better than Jaws, Kevin.
It is better than Jaws, and Jaws is my favorite movie. So, like, I have to acknowledge it's better than Jaws, but it's not as good as Jurassic Park. So,
Oh, for sure.
But I guess they didn't have to put those dinosaurs in the water. Well, anyway, that's I call it the Willy wow. Jesse says wow about Willy about 20 times in this movie. So there's a bunch of Willy wows in there. So if you're doing a drinking game, that's a good one for every Willy wow. Yeah. So we cut away, and Jesse is cleaning the tank, and then he sneaks up again, and he's catching that sea lion show that Ray is doing. And Michael Ironsides is there. This is just, we get a little, and also we can tell that this sea lion show is just not cutting it. Like, people are not there for the sea lions. There's only like 6 people there, and 3 of them are drinking like Mick Ultras out of paper bags. Okay, like, it's serious Uncle Doug energy. And we see Michael Ironsides sitting there just scowling. And I just want to comment on how evil his character is. Like, for a man who owns a park with aquatic animals, he hates all marine life.
Specifically the whale. He says it over and over again.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. I think he acquired that park as a business venture. I don't think it was his vision to build this thing. And so he was just, it was always money for him. Like, he doesn't care.
In my mind, I have it like some like member of his family, maybe his dad, this was his dad's like passion, and he like opened this park like 20 or 30 years earlier, and that's why it kind of looks run down now. And Michael Ironsides is like, I just want to run a bank. Bah! I hate marine animals. Well, anyway, that's neither alluded to in the plot either, so I just made that up for fun. Well, anyway,
but that vibe is coming off the screen.
Yes,
for
sure. Yes, for sure.
I follow.
And you kind of get that sense that this park has probably seen its best days. But, well, anyway, after we get a good look at angry Michael Ironsides, he hates all sea life. And then Ray swings by and sees Jesse and discusses Willy a little bit. She's got the weirdest opener I've ever heard. She's like, you like whales? Okay.
Yeah, and like, that was the other thing, is like, everyone's super friendly to him, and he totally like trashed their like tank and all this stuff, and they're like super nice to him. Like, I don't know, that bothered me.
Maybe they don't get a lot of kids around. No, they're not. She's like, so you're the artist, huh? You really messed up our observatory, you idiot. Anyway, you like whales?
Yeah.
They're very all over the place with their schizophrenia towards him in this movie.
Yeah.
There is a line that I like here where she's like, do you like whales? And he's like, I like Willy. And she's like, well, he's a special case. And he's like, yeah, well, who isn't? I was like, oh, dang,
yeah,
Jesse,
he
you're
has
so
some
hard.
pretty deep. He's got some deep statements for a troubled kid. Like, I don't know, there's layers to Jesse that are slowly being peeled back.
Yeah, like an
Did he
onion.
grow up and become the front man for Stained, Kevin?
Oh, I hope so. Because he is on the outside of the tank looking in.
Looking in. Yeah.
Yep. I'm just tormented by my love of Stain. Anyway, okay, fine. Moving on. Now back at the Greenwoods, Glenn tries to play catch with Jesse in the most half-hearted way imaginable. Jesse, I love this line. He's like, how much are you getting paid to be my jailer? And Glenn's like, he just hits him right back with a sass. He's like, oh, yeah, they're paying me a lot. With $1 million in 300 years, I can maybe afford to retire. Ow! Woo! So they kind of, he's trying to bond a little bit with Jesse here. He's like, well, what do you think? He's trying to use there's a psychological parenting term for it. Travis, you probably know because you're one of those hippies that does this sort of thing. But he's like, what kind of rules do you think we should have around here? Trying to get Jesse to establish his own boundaries. And Jesse's onto him. He's like, nah, I ain't falling for that. First rule is you got to give me an allowance.
Well played.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job, but then he was like, okay, here's $5. I was like, well, that folded. He folded real fast.
$5 in 1993 movie. I mean, that, again, I bring up the dollar menu. It meant something back then. You could really go far on $5.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
That was a movie and a taxi ride and a magazine. $5 get you real far in 1993.
Well, Glenn sees that this is not going to work, so he just goes ahead and lays down the law. He's like, look, I need you in bed by 10. I need you home by 7, not running around the neighborhood all willy-nilly like we have been letting you do. And
All free willy-nilly, am I right?
Yeah, no free willy-nilly around this neighborhood. And I need you to be up in time for breakfast. And then he leaves Jesse with the glove, and then he's like, hey, Jesse, and he tosses him the ball, and Jesse just like, chow, ninja grabs it with his naked hand. And he just looks at Glenn. Like, that was an alpha move. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I don't need no glove.
Yeah. I think it was out of contempt that Glenn gave him the glove. He's like, nah, I don't need it. I love it. Well, back at the park, Jesse is in the observation area, kind of finishing up his work, and he kind of sees Willy, and he's like, you know what, Willy? I'm going to play this harmonica a little bit for you. Willy, he likes Jesse playing that harmonica. And so Jesse kind of heads up to topside, and he's playing a little more for Willy. Willy hits Ray's kind of walking by, and Willy hits her with that patented Wet Willy move of his.
Mm-hmm.
What's the patented Wet Willy move, Kev? I need you to expound on.
That's where he smacks it hard, and water comes flying out and just covers everybody.
Okay.
And she pretends like she doesn't like it.
Yeah, dude, if a killer whale was splashing, I'd be like, quit it. You stop it. She's wearing a swimsuit, too, so I don't know why she's so... And this is just so random. She's carrying a cardboard box full of fish. I don't know what I expect fish to be delivered in, but just a giant cardboard box seems stanky.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Well,
Not how I deliver it myself. But then the next scene, you get to see them go through Good Fish, Play a Little Good Fish, Bad Fish, which is one of my favorite games growing up as a young redneck. Play a Little Good Fish, Bad Fish. You ever played that, Kev? It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I love Little Good Fish, Bad Fish.
Yeah, it's like a Dr. Seuss deal.
Yeah, I always get more bad fish than good, though, and that's kind of the case. They're kind of sorting this fish out that they're gonna feed to Willy. She's talking a little bit to him about killer whales. This is kind of where we get a little bit of information about orcas. If we're just young folk watching this movie, this is we're kind of learning. She says that, although I do think this is funny, she's like, normally killer whales are friendly and nice, and they like to be hugged and play, but Willy, he's smart and he's nasty.
Yeah, that's a weird verb to call a whale. Like a nasty whale?
I think it's just a whale, lady. But anyway.
He only likes the bad fish, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, maybe that's actually why she's sorting them out, because she wants to make sure he just gets the bad one. She's like, I'm going to give the good ones to the sea lions because I hate you, Willy. She's with Michael Ironsides on this. Well, we also find out that Willy really likes salmon. It's his chocolate. I love the way she says that, and I don't know why.
It is weird, right? It stuck with me for days.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about the way she just said, it's his chocolate. And it was weird.
It had like a weird sensuality to it, and I don't know.
There are a lot of things she did in this movie that were sensually uncomfortable that I did not like.
Yeah. there is
But
one
I'm not
scene-
sure she meant to do. That's the thing. It's like, does she know that came off? It like made me feel sticky. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it did.
Weird. It was weird. Well, later on that evening, Jesse sneaks out to hang out with Willy because he's just about done with his repair work. He doesn't think he's going to be able to see Willy again. And so he's hanging out, playing his harmonica for Willy. And Randolph, again, appears out of nowhere, although this time he does turn the lights on, which means that Jesse's like, oh, man, I got to cheese it. I'm going to get in trouble. And he cheeses it by slipping, falling, smacking his face on the concrete, and falling in the tank, all before Randolph comes out and sees that there might be any danger. So now we know he's in the tank with Willy. He's unconscious. He's in trouble. Oh, no, what's going to happen?
Willy saves him, but is it the real Willy or the animatronic? I couldn't tell.
I would bet you that's the animatronic.
Or was Jesse a fake dummy body and
Yeah.
it was the real whale?
Yeah, it could have been a fake dummy, or it could have been like a trainer that was in there with the wheel well.
The wheel whale?
The wheel well. The only reason I think it's the fake is because it's tipped a little to the left.
Oh my God! What are you, an expert? What
Yeah,
is wrong
what
with
the
you?
heck?
Tipped a little. It was
just-
lilting slightly, 7 degrees. Whales don't lilt.
I
What's wrong
study a lot of whale anatomy. But
That
anyway,
whale's fine, Kev. That's oh my God.
maybe he's got vertigo.
impossible.
And I think he also would have died. Like, let's also be clear. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't like get put onto the concrete and then magically like undrown himself.
Yeah,
Like, he had
for
no
sure.
resuscitation. He had no mouth to mouth. He just was like, I'm fine.
Willie gave him CPR too. He's a good whale.
Well, for somebody who was really afraid that Randolph was going to get him in trouble for being there and falling in the tank, in the next scene, he's just hanging out with his shirt off in Randolph's house. You're like, dude, what? What is happening?
Also, like, flag number 2 that
Yeah.
your foster kid would be with a person that may have not gone through a criminal background check yet and is just hanging out at their house at midnight. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Randolph is kind of an odd duck, man. Well, Randolph kind of gives Jesse some information on like Native American mythology and orcas and that sort of thing. And Jesse's like, yeah, I'll stand by Willie because I'm never going to see him again because I'm almost done cleaning up the horrible mess I made. And Randolph's like, you know what, kid, I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to get you a job here and we're going to pay you real money.
Yeah, you know how reckless you were earlier and almost died in the
and
tank?
almost died
Why don't you
in the
work here every day?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
I don't see you as a liability at all. Come work for me.
Yeah, we won't even supervise you. Just come by anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
This is the part, like, up to this point, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, getting in trouble's not that bad. You could go work at an aquarium. You could get a job at an aquarium. Like, okay, maybe I need to be a little, bad. I don't know.
Yeah, break bad, man. And also too, like if I'm the guy that runs the aquarium, the first time kids sneak in, I'm fixing the problem. Okay, he keeps sneaking in, and no one fixes the problem. Anyway, moving along. Well, back at the Greenwoods, Jesse is getting dropped off, and Randolph essentially smooths things over with the Greenwoods and talks them into hiring Jesse. But then the button on the scene is like, Glenn says something like, all right, we'll get on in the house, son. And Jesse's like, I'm not your son. And then spits in his face and walks in the house. He doesn't spit in his face, but that's verbally. It was the way, the vibe I felt. Well, so he is
I think
going
it was too early to call him son, though. I think it's too soon.
I think it was more.
I took it as like buddy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
son, like buddy.
Just said,
Bud,
"Chief,
pal.
get in there, pal. Get in there, bud." I think that would have been sport. What about a sport champ?
Sport champ. Yeah.
You know,
Jesse would have worked. That's his name. You could use that too.
His name?
That would
I'm
also.
so glad you said that. I was trying to think of his name, and I was like, "It's not." I know it's not Willie. That's the one name it's not. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, back at the park the next day, Willy needs an exam, so we need to examine Willy, and he has been sort of trapped in this net to try to do this medical exam, and he is in a high degree of distress. He's doing that like real sad. Can anybody do that better than me? By the way, was that pretty good? Can you guys
Discord actually like chops it off so that we can't really hear it. Honestly, like I missed it, but it did make me think that my kid was crying upstairs. I paused the movie and was like, "Did you hear that? You didn't hear that?"
I'll take that as I did a pretty good Willy cry. The cry
Sure.
of the Willy. He needs an exam. And we get a lot of this is kind of an exposition dump. We find out that vis-a-vis Jesse kind of overhearing this conversation Ray is having with, I believe the character's name is Wade, who's kind of like Michael Ironside's Dial, who is the villain, the owner of the park, his like right-hand goon, that basically Willy needs more of an enclosure. This tank is entirely too small, and Wade's like, well, he's not going to do that unless we are actually making some money off of this whale. So, you need to shut up and do your job and get this whale examined or whatever. And Jesse's like, nah, I'm going to help my man Willy out. So he kind of pulls the bolt out of the net, and Willy just swims back into the larger enclosure, which is entirely too small for America.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
But he already freed Willy one time.
Yeah, that's
one free Willy down.
Movie over, and then Randolph does what Randolph do and just pops out of the ground like pop. Here I am, and Jesse's like, "Oh yeah, I did it," and he's like, "Good. I bet Willy really appreciated that," and walked off.
This was the scene that establishes the bromance between Willy and Jesse. Like, Willy saved Jesse from drowning. Jesse returned the favor. Now they're like tight. They're like got their own group going. They're like, I got you, bud, son, whatever.
Well, there's a quick little cutaway to Michael Ironsides. He's sort of he's the corporate baddie. He really hates whales. He especially hates Willy. He really hates that whale. He says it.
Says it a lot.
In fact, I think that's like 50% of his dialogue in the movie. And we also get a little nugget from Wade where he says Willy's worth more dead than he is alive because of the insurance we have on him. So we get that little bit of seed planted. Well, in the next seed, Jesse is in the fish market, and he's getting some fish for his new best pal, Willy. He's like, yo, you got any scraps or anything that I can afford with this $5 that Glenn gave me earlier instead of playing catch? And he manages to get some fish, and as he's walking away, he runs into his old pal Perry. Now, if you remember, Perry was one of the street urchins that he hung out with, and Perry's he's running with a bad crew. There ain't no other way to say it.
And you know this because the music changes.
Exactly.
Perry and his crew jump on scene, and it's like, again, they think this music is supposed to be reflective of like criminal behavior, and it sounds like 80s rock. I don't know. I was just like, oh, okay, this is what bad music is.
Yeah. Well, Perry's like, hey, man, stop being a square and come work for us. I'm working for a gang. I just get the sense that it's something to do with drugs. I don't know why. He's like watching out for cops or whatever. Could be illegal gambling. Who knows? But we know it's something nefarious that Perry's up to.
Also, I feel like Perry doesn't have enough concern for Jesse because, I mean, you haven't seen your bud in a week or so. Last time you saw him, you were being chased by the cops. He got separated. Then the next time you see him in broad daylight, he's using his only allowance to buy old fish from a street vendor. It'd be like, Jesse, you need to join this gang. You're not okay. You're buying old. That's not you can't eat that. You got to cook that to eat it. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, he does invite Jesse to join, and Jesse's like, I got to think about it. And so they do their like sweet high five move, and we head back to the
most gangster high five I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's terrific. Well, back at the park, Jesse sneaks down again right beside Willy's tank. No one is there, and he's chucking fish in and playing harmonica for Willy. And Willy, kind of grabs the fish and doesn't eat it and drops it back off. And Jesse's like, "Oh, you don't know how to eat fish? Well, let me show you." Yum, 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 yum. I don't know why that cracked me up, but just the fact that he was demonstrating eating this giant fish to a whale got me. It got me, guys.
Also, why did he have to buy the fish? Don't they have fish I mean, he steals stuff. Could he just steal the fish they have for Willy already? He doesn't have to spend his money to feed this whale. That's not his problem. Come on.
I get the feeling that he loves Willy, or he is growing very fond of
I get
Willy,
that.
and he knows that Willy doesn't get enough food. You know, they're doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, but that fish he bought was not a salmon. Like, that first time he bought the fish is not his chocolat. So, like, that's why Willy was like, no thanks, man.
This street fish, dude. No thanks.
Straight up street
Yeah.
fish. I mean, I'm better than that, man. Why do you
But
think you got to
this
pull out the
scene-
bad fish?
This scene's the real whale, yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There's some real
Okay,
whale
yeah.
in this. You never can tell. I mean, the head shaking, the kind of the movement pattern looks like there's actual real like physioskeleton there rather than
Kevin, give it a break, man.
Just-
Come on. What are you?
Okay, all right.
You're
Okay.
not, what are you, a marine biologist all of a sudden?
Yes, I am.
You live
okay?
in.
I've
You
watched.
live where I live. There's no whales. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm an expert. I've watched Free Willy 4 times. Okay, all right, maybe 5. And Christina asked me, so I was trying to answer her question. Okay, so stuff it,
I just
Travis.
need the subtitles, not to say the dialogue. I need it to say real whale, animatronic whale.
You can also kind of tell by the way the blowhole moves too. But anyway, I spent a lot of time looking at Willy blowholes. Okay, it's fine. Travis, why are you laughing, Travis? Why are you laughing?
you just
well-
you know so much.
Thank you.
This is strike 2 for me in the things that would never happen with a foster kid. They just have free reign access to a giant pool of water with a giant mammal, 7-ton orca. Okay,
Seems a bit
not
much.
plausible. Yeah.
Well, he eventually starts hand feeding Willy because that's what Willy wants him to do, and then Jesse says, "Okay, don't bite me," and then just reaches out and tentatively pets Willy, and it's kind of a cute little moment. You know, just little pet, little boop. He boops the snoot. And I love it.
Snoop boop. Yeah.
I think this is like any movie with like kids and animals. There's always that like hand reaching,
Yeah.
first touch, first contact. You know, but in this scenario, it was like first touching a Willy. I don't know. It seemed weird.
Hey, well, yeah, when you put it that way, I guess it does.
Yeah. The first time touching Willy, it's always a little weird, but you get used to the rubbery feel after a while.
Yeah.
That was his first comment, was about the texture.
That was, yeah.
That's
He's
true.
like, you feel rubbery. Well, moving along in this scene, Willy kind of starts mimicking Jesse and sort of doing tricks. He does rolls as Jesse's kind of doing this. He's like, you want to dance, Willy? You know, sort of thing. Well, Ray and Randolph kind of see it and are amazed that Willy is, first of all, not murdering this child that they've willingly let go near the tank.
Right.
But B, playing a little game of stick the tongue out and just having fun, you know. And so Ray kind of takes him to the side, and she's, you know, talking to Jesse. She's like, hey, you know, whales normally, well, first of all, Willy thinks I'm evil because I had to do tests on him when he first got here. He thinks I'm the Wicked Witch. And then she's like, you know, they live in these big family pods and he's lonely, and that might be the reason he acts the way he is. And by the way, I'm going to go back to school and get a PhD where my boyfriend is. Do you have a girlfriend, Jesse?
Yeah. What the heck was that
That
dialogue?
was so weird.
Yeah, with Charlie, and Jesse's like, breaks. Who's Charlie? And it's like, oh, this is weird. Like, now she's asking him about girlfriends. And this is where she starts doing things that made me really uncomfortable.
Just odd.
I was just like, yeah, it was odd.
Well, at any rate, he sees a poster of Willy, or no, I'm sorry, different types of whales. He sees a poster of Willy, of different types of whales on the wall. And he's like, well, this one kind of looks like Willy, but it's not him because this one's all flopped over. It's not, I mean, this was all standing up straight, and Willy's is like flopped over. And she's like,
You're
well, that
piling it on.
happens. Yeah, that happens when whales are in captivity. And is that true, by the way? I didn't actually Google
Oh,
that.
you're the
I've
expert.
always heard
You're
that.
the expert. You tell me.
No,
Okay.
he's an expert on animatronics.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Travis.
Travis, let's be clear.
Okay,
And
fair.
yes, that is a true thing. Like, dorsal fins flop over with animals that go into captivity and other things.
Oh, that's sad.
So sad.
Well, they kind of discuss it a little bit, and Ray reiterates with Jesse that Dial's not going to make a bigger tank for Willy unless they can make some money, so Jesse agrees to help train Willy to do a show. And that's the big takeaway here. And the first training sesh, it goes great, guys. It goes really well.
Now, put the brakes on you, Kevin. Again, first of all, like, how much time has passed since Jesse started here? This is my question.
I feel like it's been a couple of weeks. Like, I don't think it's been very long.
I mean, I would have been okay with a couple of weeks. I thought it was like maybe a week. And I was like, this is happening way too fast. That he is now given access to be the Willy's trainer? Like, I don't know. Like, are they really hurting for, like, hand help? Like, I was just very floored by all of that.
They're hiring a 9-year-old boy to train a whale. Yeah, they need help, man.
They need help.
They need HR is what they actually need. They need that would be the
and
biggest.
Probably some good contracts and lawyers.
Yeah,
I thought this whole movie took place over the span of like 4 days. I didn't realize there's like the montages feel. There's a lot of montages, but they feel like they cover about 2 hours of real time.
Yes.
I was imagining this is like over the course of weeks, but I guess hey man, if it's kind of fun if it's a couple of days. Well, back at Randolph's cabin, Randolph tells a tale about friendship between a indigenous warrior and this log he carved that turned into a whale, and he said a prayer. The prayer is going to come back. It's Salanana Ayuni I Isis. And if I didn't say that right, try it at home. Try it at home. And then as he's telling this story to Jesse, it cross-cuts back to the Greenwoods, and Jesse has picked up the narrative thread and is telling it to Annie, and she's pretending to be interested, which I think is really, really great of her. And Randolph has actually given Jesse this little wooden orca that he's had his eye on, or Jesse stole it. I don't know. One or the other. It could go either way with Jess. Yeah. Randolph's like, where did that darn orca thing go? Hey, it's crazy. He did give Jesse a book with this story in it. Well, anyway, and you kind of get a little bit of bonding between Annie and Jesse there, which is good because she hasn't gotten a lot of screen time. Now, moving along, back at the park, there is just a bunch of like training and bonding montage stuff that sort of happens here. And it goes on for a little bit, and then at night we hear Willy crying out to the ocean.
Oh, so sad.
Gets me every time.
Yeah.
Man.
Playing as well harmonica.
Yeah. Then there's just more bonding and training. Apparently it happened over the course of 2 hours, even though there was a night in the middle. Okay.
He must be like a whale whisperer. How quickly he was able to train Willy. Like, and then during this, he's like just jumping, and now I trust this whale
That's
so
a
much.
fake
I'm
whale,
just
by
gonna
the way.
jump in the pool with this whale. Like, strike 3 on the foster care list for me.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're not cut out to be a whale foster parent. When you adopt a boy, you adopt a whale. It's just the way it is. Well,
that's what the paperwork said.
Yeah, that's why he didn't pay attention to that when he was signing it. Well, moving along, we get more of course, those training montages, and then we see Jesse show up at Glenn's garage. And Glenn and Jesse are kind of bonding a little bit. Jesse's asking about this cool car that Glenn had, and he's like, well, I had to sell it because a man can't have two loves, and I love Annie. And you're like, well, God, Annie didn't let you keep your car. It's already...
Yeah, that's sad.
That's kind of weird, but, she is a jealous woman and tolerates no rivals.
Or alternative hypothesis, he wanted to buy her a beautiful engagement ring, and the only money he could get was by selling his car to give her a ring.
Oh,
maybe. God,
that's so... Yeah, God, Glenn, you got me. Christina, Glenn got me via you. So, Michael Madsen, call me boy. Well, moving along in that scene, they kind of start talking a little bit, and they're being a little bit more open. They're kind of joking a little bit, and Jesse, you get a little cloud of his troubled past. He says, do you and Annie ever fight? Presumably he hasn't heard them fight or argue. And Michael Madsen just kind of quips, oh, yeah, we schedule one once a month, and sort of laughs. And at some point, the topic of Jesse's mom comes up, and I don't know, man. Glenn just hits him hard. He's like, oh, I didn't think your mom wanted you. I thought, because Jesse's like, my mom's going to come back and get me one day. And he's like, oh, I didn't think your mom wanted you. And then
he's like, the paperwork I got said not that. It said, specifically, your mom definitely wouldn't want you back. And that's why it was okay for us to kind of have you, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where I felt like the system set them both up to fail in their relationship, because the system was being truthful to the foster parents about the reality of Jesse's situation, but they weren't being truthful to Jesse about like the reality of what was going on. And so that was just bad on the government. Like, no good.
Yeah, Dwight, get it together, man. I'm sorry, D-White. In the next scene, Jesse is sort of taken off and he's missing. And then Glenn comes home, and him and Annie have a little bit of a terse conversation about Jesse being missing. And then Jesse comes rolling in right behind Glenn. I presume he was hiding in the bed of the truck and just sort of rode home in the rain with Glenn.
He's been hanging out with Randolph too long, like learning how to pop out.
That might be what it is. That might be what it is. Well, he comes in, he like shoulder checks Glenn on the way up the stairs, and this kind of sets off an argument between Glenn and Annie. And Glenn, dude, dial it back. He's like, I never wanted this stupid kid. I'd be happier if he was gone. Maybe if he was dead, laying in the street with a hatchet in his brain. You're like, Glenn, ease up, dude. He says some very harsh things, and he must have forgotten that the child is just immediately upstairs.
He's like, do they have ears? I don't even know. I'm not familiar with can he even hear us?
Well,
I have no idea.
Annie does hit him with a stinger. She's like, the reason that you're so upset right now is because you're starting to have feelings for Jesse, and you do want him as your son. But Jesse doesn't hear that part. He just hears the part about him not being wanted, and he like runs upstairs, takes that package, tears it open, sees it's a baseball, and just bam, Travis, he breaks that window, dude.
Yeah, first of all, they gifted him an old-ass, ugly baseball. Like, where did he find it? That baseball looked like it was... He just found it in an alley and put it in a box. It didn't look like it was a new baseball. Then he just throws it through this big window that's got a specific cut. I mean, oh my God. If I had seen that, that would have been the last straw for me. I would have been on Glenn's side. I'd be like, all right, that's it. Maybe he can have the shed. Do we have a shed? He can live there.
Well, they end up sort of reconciling as a little foster family, spurred on by the fact that Jesse says the arguing scared him. Whether he's manipulating them or whether, I don't think he is. I think it's supposed to be genuine at this point, that he probably saw some sort of bad, abuse stuff between his parents when he was younger, is probably the meat of this scene. I didn't get that sense on my first watching, but like I maybe wasn't paying enough attention. But like the third or fourth time, I was like, oh, okay, I think that's what I'm supposed to take away from this scene. Would you guys kind of agree with that, or do you think Jesse is being a little manipulative?
No, I don't think he's playing possum. I think he heard Glenn say the things Glenn said, and that hurt his feelings.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, they do kind of reconcile, and so the next day,
which, by the way, the reconciliation was quick. He's like, I'm just kidding. I want you.
Yeah, like, psych.
Those things I was screaming downstairs without you around, I knew you could hear. I was just messing around.
I was just kidding. I was just funning. Well, the next day at the park, Willy and Jesse are hanging out, and Perry shows up. I love this because he comes in with his hair slicked back, like smoking a ciggy. Like this kid.
And a black eye, right?
Yeah.
Like, that kid totally had a black eye.
He got those acting tips from Michael Madsen. He was like, this is what you got to do.
But you're like, okay, we've established that he's going down the wrong path. You have to have this kid dry smoking a cigarette that's clearly not lit. I mean, come on. But anyway, that's exactly what happened. Well, he tells Jesse that he's going with Dayton. Presumably that's this drug dealer, to L.A., and they're going to get rich together, and that Jesse can come along. And Jesse takes a long, hard look at Willy and says, no, I think I'm going to stay here. I can't leave Willy. Well, good old Perry leaves him with a postcard showing him where they're headed to.
Like, Jesse didn't even like have any follow-up questions. Like, get rich doing what?
Right.
What are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. Like, you should at least act interested for your friend's business venture.
Yeah,
But he was like, nah, I'm good.
nah,
you should
I'm
try
good.
getting a family. It's not that bad. I got a free baseball. They let me hang out with strange men a lot.
And check it out, a
I have my
whale.
own pet whale. I got my own pet whale. Perry, you're missing out.
I guess, you know what, man? I never thought about that. Like, because you see Jesse's like trajectory improve, and then Perry's just keeps getting worse and worse. And you're like, who would have thought the kid that got like body slammed by the cops it would have turned out better for? But apparently that's the way it worked out. Well, after Perry leaves, Jesse walks down to the kind of the platform area and is talking to Willy about his mom, not Willy's mom, but Jesse's talking about his mother, and that he hopes that Willy one day is able to find his family. And kind of we kind of cut away to the next day, and Dial and Wade are there to watch Jesse kind of walk through these tricks that he's been practicing with Willy. And man, there's just some dumb slow-mo. There's no way to say it. There is no way that you can look cool with just being a kid, just waving your arms around going like, yeah, Willy, yeah. It's the cringiest garbage I've ever seen. But the upshot is Michael Ironsides, Dial, and Wade are so impressed. They're like, you know what? Let's book out the entire arena. Let's not do any warm-up shows. Let's not do some preview performances. Let's go right to the real deal.
So I have a fun fact about that particular scene where they're like doing the pretend show.
Yeah.
So when they were filming the movie, the actual real whale trainers couldn't get Keiko to like come up onto the cement in that final like ta-da scene. Yeah. And so they were like, let's actually have Jesse the actor do it and see if he'll do it. And the whale actually did it on Jesse's command. And so the reaction from the other actors are like real legit, like, holy crap, this kid actually did make the whale do this thing. So it's like a real improv like scene in the movie.
Whoa.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, see, now that's a real whale, Travis, that jumps
Sure.
up there. You can tell because of the way the skeleton moves, the anatomy.
No, I got it. Yeah, and I can see that it's a whale. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I appreciate you, Kev. No, that's good. Keep me honest.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Quiz me later. See if I get it.
I will. Dial and Wade sort of scheme. This just kills me. Some writer had to know what he was saying. Michael Ironside's character Dial's like, I got it. We're gonna make a ton of money. We'll call it the Willy Show. You're like, dude, come on.
I mean, sometimes with these movies, though, don't you think people like wrote things in where the parents would be like, I gotcha, and the kids would be like, that's a great idea, and so.
Good stuff. Well, again, it just drives me crazy that they didn't book like preview performances, that they didn't, do anything else. They just dumped all the money into doing one big Willy show. And I as a business person, I just think Michael Ironside's character Dial is just a terrible business person, frankly. But we're moving on. It's the day of the Willy show, y'all. And we immediately get a sense, it's kind of around the pool and in the tank, of the chaos. I mean, there are tons of people there, and all these kids are down in the observation room just banging on the tank as loud as they can. It is just chaos. It's pandemonium. It's bedlam. And I do think that the director did a really nice job of building to this crescendo of Willy having a freak out. But generally what happens is, there's all this pandemonium, all this noise. But we cut backstage. Jesse's kind of getting ready for the show. He's a little nervous. D. White is there. Dwight's and I love there's a little interaction that they have where Jesse walks over and shakes Dwight's hand. He's like, "It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you?" And you're like, wow, there's a big change in Jesse. Like he's, you kind of see that he's kind of coming into his own. He's building himself a little bit of confidence. He's nervous. Well, he goes out to do the show.
And it had only been probably 2 days. That's
about 2 days. Yeah, that's
maybe.
all it takes. He just needed a whole new family and a whale, and the kid's gonna be fine. Well, as he starts to try to get Willy to do these tricks, Willy is just straight up refusing. In fact, he's like freaking out with all the noise, and he kind of like swims up and he's like shaking his head, no, I don't want to do it. And Ray's like, well, I'll vamp a little bit. You can see if you can work with him. Her vamping is like, this whale doesn't want to do anything. You're like, okay, that's not super helpful, but okay.
She said like one fact about orcas, and then that was it. Like that was going to be enough time for just Jesse and the whale to get their shit together.
And so at some point, it's kind of like quiet, and then this one dude just goes, boo. You're like, really, dude? You were booing a kid who's trying to get this whale to do anything? And then people start like heckling this kid. They're like, get off the stage. You suck. Your mom abandoned you because you're bad at life. You're like, that is so specific, Dwight. Why?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this as I was watching it. I was like, I don't know that I'm ever going to get upset because I'd be watching that. I would just be amazed there was a whale. I don't think I would. It doesn't need to do it. I'd be like, holy, look, a whale. Let's just look at it for a while. I'm happy. I wouldn't even know that it was supposed to do other I would have been so thrilled just to see a whale.
Well, you feel like Ray could have done a better job vamping, like, oh, Jesse just got the whale to swim slightly sideways. Whoa, that's incredible, isn't it, folks?
7-degree tilt.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's how you know
we got
it's
a wooden
fake.
one in the back that works fine if you want us to pull that out.
Or just like, it's about adding the commentary. When he's shaking his head, it's like, oh, he likes White Snake. He's headbanging. Whatever. I don't know. Work on it, Ray.
Yeah, she did a bad job.
She did a bad job. Well, eventually, all of this failure and the crowd booing him causes Jesse to run off. Willy is upset because he doesn't know what's going on. All this
Performance
noise
anxiety.
Performance anxiety with Willy.
It's rough.
That's
it's rough
true.
on a Willy. Yeah, this is the time we have to make that joke. Now we can move on.
Yeah, thanks, bud. I was hoping for it. Well, he Willy freaks out, man, and he swims as hard as he can into the glass of the observation tank, and he creates a little pinhole of a leak. And as Jesse's kind of running off, Wade, who is, if you remember, the right-hand goon of Michael Ironside's character, Dial, comes down there and he sees that little leak in the tank, and he gets himself an evil scheme, and he celebrates his evil scheme by eating some popcorn.
Menacingly.
Yeah, what I thought was funny is that like nobody who like was an employee of the park wanted to run down there when all the guests came out screaming. Like, wouldn't Randall have wanted to go like down there and see why people were running away screaming? I thought that was odd.
Do they have no engineers on hand, or is it just Randolph doing stuff?
That's the sense I got, that it's just Randolph. He's like the grounds, like facilities / whale trainer / ninja. He just pops out
mentor, foster kid mentor.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, 2 people work here and a boy.
Yeah,
and a boy. Right.
Okay. Why do you think the place is run down so badly?
I just want to be sure we're clear. All right.
Well, meanwhile, Jesse has run off. We cut away to him, and he's just kicking a trash can. I gotta shout out A, Jesse's ability to kick the hell out of that trash can, and B, Dwight. I love Dwight. He's like, hey man, I'll hold it and you can kick it. And I was like, man, Dwight, you're coming through in the clinch with a little sass there. Dwight kind of takes Jesse aside, and he starts to have a heart-to-heart with him, and then all of a sudden he breaks bad on Jesse. He's like, let me tell you something. You better fix stuff with the Greenwoods. Your mama dumped you on the street and didn't even look in the rear view when she was driving away because she hated you that much. And you're like, Dwight, ease up a little bit, man. This kid has just had the worst day of his life with his whale.
Scale that back, Big D. He's already crying.
Right.
It's because he didn't do his job in the first place by telling Jesse what was really up, and now he had to have some tough love with him. It's like, Dwight, if you would have just done your job in the first place, you wouldn't have had to been so mean.
Speaking of which, if you're watching this, somebody should have paid attention to gave a little tough love and paid attention to how bad the green screen was behind them, where they have the park in the background. It's the worst looking green screen I've seen in a.
I can't even tell, Cav. You're so good. I thought I didn't know that was an animatronic tree. I thought that was real. I thought the whole thing was real.
Animatronic birds.
Isn't that the shot from Goonies too, when they're looking down over the water and the rocks? It feels like that's Astoria, Oregon, right there. When they're
well, it is Astoria. Like it was filmed in Astoria, so that would make sense.
There you go. That's my eye, Cav. See, that's me.
Woo, so good, dude. So good. Well, back at the Greenwoods, Annie kind of comes in and talks to Jesse, trying to console him a little bit, and says, "Hey, don't lose your faith in Willy. You know, Willy's going to come back, and sometimes animals are just like people. They're unpredictable, and you need to patch it up with Willy." Well, I don't know that was exactly the best thing to tell a kid who likes to run away and go to the aquarium at night, because that's exactly what he does. He runs away and goes to the aquarium at the night. Presumably, he's got this backpack. You get the hint that he's going to, because he's weighing the baseball that the Greenwoods gave him and the postcard that Perry gave him.
Yeah.
Am I going to run away? And you see him in the next scene at the aquarium saying goodbye to Willy, and he's got his precious backpack with him that he won't let anybody touch. And Willy's got this little toy made out of 2 Coke bottles that Jesse's made for him and wants to play. And Jesse's like, "No, get away from me. You're stupid, Willy." And
I had that same toy growing up. It's a blast.
It really is.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Jesse's kind of there to say goodbye. And Willy kind of is being his charming self. He's playing fetch. He's, just being a cool whale. And he kind of sort of swims over to the side of the tank, and he cries out to the ocean, and then there are other killer whales out there that are crying back, and we get the feeling vis-a-vis Jesse, because he just says it out loud, that this is Willy's family. We need to know that as an audience. We need to know that these aren't just some random whales that he's like rapping to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, sometimes things go over people's heads, and Jesse, like the producer and the director were like, "We need to make this very clear."
Yes.
Like, so just say it.
Again, it's a kids movie, so you gotta just say it, because us dumb kids back in 1993, we wouldn't have figured that out.
I thought it was an echo. I'm just now getting it, so that's why. See, I'm the reason.
Fair enough. Well, as this is playing out, there's like crazy sparks in the inside of the tank, and Jesse's like, "Oh, that lightning's back." And he's like, "Oh no, wait a minute, that's something else." And so he heads down to the observation area, and he discovers that Wade has been in there with a guy with an oxyacetylene torch, and he is like just basically made the leak worse. And the water is kind of like pouring out, and that's when Jesse realizes that the park is trying to kill Willy by getting all of this. Makes me so mad. This is where Dial and Wade just take a hard turn to like supervillain. You're like, man, if Captain Planet was here, he would mess you up.
And you got a couple goons there. They've got their tools and their torches, and they've been talked into like, "Hey, I need you to come down to the tank. We're going to strip out one of the bolts so we can make..." Like, I don't know how much confidence you have in that barrier that you take out one bolt and you're not just going to be immediately smashed by tons of water and whale. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. And also, if you're, you know what, I got more faith in welders. I think a welder would be like, "No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm just not going to do it."
Oh, yeah. Like,
and they have a good moral compass, those guys.
And they also have more workers at this place that we haven't seen. Apparently, these 2 goons also work there. And you're like, where have you been this whole time? They needed help with the whale. What is going on with you guys? Well, anyway, Jesse discovers this big leak, and he runs to Randolph to get help, because he knows that Willy is obviously in danger. He knows, whales need water. It's just good science, Travis.
I knew that.
I almost was so hoping that like Jesse would be banging on Randolph's door, and he would open it up, and he had like a girl there with him. Like he had a lady friend over for the evening. He's like, "All right, I'll come help with Willy." Well,
I thought it'd be funny if you were knocking on the door, but then Randolph still popped up behind him.
Yeah, that would have been better.
with a lady friend.
With a lady friend.
Well, Randolph comes back to the tank with Willy, and they make a decision quick. Jesse's like, "Look, he's trying to kill him," and Randolph's like, "Yeah, he's trying to kill him for the insurance money." And Jesse's like, "Let's put Willy back in the ocean," and Randolph's like, "Yeah, man, this job sucks anyway. Why not?"
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. There
insane.
was like no need to sell it at all. He was like, "I'm down. Let's go."
Yeah.
I also like how he goes down there to inspect the leak. He gets right up to it, watching water gush out of it. He's like, yeah, that is
That's
a leak. For sure. We're boned.
Well, they call up Ray to presumably come down. She shows up, and then they decide to tell her, "Hey, look, they're trying to kill Willy. They put a hole in his tank. We're gonna go free him." And she's like, "Wait, hold on. How did y'all get there that fast? Did y'all got some Flex Seal we could put on that thing? I've seen that infomercial. That stuff works. That would have saved Willy." Well, she's like, "Well, no. They're basically like, hey, they're gonna kill him anyway, and the tank is leaking, and there's no way to fix it. So they happen to already have the sling." And
Right.
the backhoe forklift, whatever they could put the sling on, to load Willy up, which does make sense because obviously they had to transport him to get him there. So you know that makes some sense.
Yeah, but last time we saw them putting Willy into this sling, there were like 80 people there helping it, and now there's 3.
but
That
they
is
didn't.
true.
But Christina, they didn't have the whale whisperer.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out what's going on, and it becomes a little bit of a race against time because the tank is emptying out, and you're not getting that whale out once that he loses all buoyancy. Travis, they have no buoyancy on land. Well, they still have the same amount of buoyancy, but there's nothing to float in. I should say
Right.
on land, Travis.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
It's just science. It's just science.
Unless it was the wooden animatronic, then it would just
Yeah. Then it would be super
be
light.
so easy.
They should just move that one.
Yeah, I don't know why they just don't let the whale die. Can you imagine, too, they just... this was their plan. They were just going to let that whale die in that tank, which is terrible, horrible. You don't have any guarantee he's going to die overnight. Like, I don't know how long a whale can be out of water before it dies. And then second of all, how you going to get it out of there? You got a huge mess to clean up, bud. That's going to eat into your whale profits. It really is. Well, either way, it's a race against time. They manage to, Jesse jumps in and convinces Willy to get in this sling. He gets in the sling just as the tank really rips open and all the water's dumping out, and they lift Willy out and they get him on the back of the trailer. And only then do they go, you know what? We need something to tow the trailer with.
Yeah. Like, step 1. I don't know.
Like,
Randolph clearly was not prepared for this plan. Like, he let an 11-year-old boy talk him into it, assuming that Jesse had the plan. He was like, "You didn't bring a truck?"
I don't know that Randolph, he's something, dude. They end up going to the Greenwoods. Oh, we also get hold on. They go to the Greenwoods and they kind of like slow roll steal the truck out of the driveway. I think we've mentioned this that Glenn has a big kind of dually pickup, GMC. In case you're interested, Travis.
I wasn't.
And, yep. Might come up later. I don't know. Well, anyway, they Randolph and Jesse steal this truck. So far they're like 2 felonies in. I'm not sure what felony whale kidnapping is, but for sure it is one. And so they hook that up to the trailer and they head off. They decide they want to take kind of a back road. So Glenn. At this point, has noticed his truck getting stolen, so he calls the police. And at that point, Annie comes in and she's like, "Hey, by the way, I think Jesse took the truck. He's not here." So Glenn has the sense that maybe he doesn't want the police undertakering Jesse again. And so right after that scene happens, we get a quick cutaway. Somehow Wade has discovered that the whale is not there. I guess maybe he came back to be like, "Hey, I want to make sure my whale murder plan is going," even though they scampered out of there so fast, Well,
I mean, everyone has access to that park. It's never locked. Anyone could go in there. So Wade just went back.
Wait, actually, he came in through that broken fence earlier. He pulled the 2 boards up and just came right in. Well, he calls Dial and says that, "Hey, the whale is missing. Somebody stole it." And Dial's like, "Get the crew." He's got a whale crew of like mafia guys to go hunt down this whale. And we find out.
First of all, you're not asking follow-up questions to the whale is stolen. It's like, did you look
where
anywhere
are you
else?
gonna hide the whale? Where is it? The snack bar, Travis? We're doing whale sticks.
I just somebody stole the whale is a wild sentence to just take.
It kind of
just take.
with no questions. Yeah.
Well, he knows that he doesn't have theft insurance on the whale, which, you know what? I've criticized him a lot. I wouldn't pay for theft insurance on the whale, too.
That's fair. That's
to be
fair.
Well, the truck, Randolph, the one thing Randolph to do is not get the truck stuck, and he somehow gets the truck stuck.
So this is a part of the movie that like I've completely blocked out of my memory when I was rewatching this. I was like, wait, this was in the movie? Like, why did I not remember any of this? And that's because it was probably the most boring part of the movie.
Yeah.
Of like, some adults were finally deciding to do the right thing, and then they did it wrong, right? Like, they couldn't even pull that off. So I was just probably as a kid, like, blocked it out. But I was like, why do I not remember any of this?
And you can see the look on fake Willy's face. He's like, God, you guys are dumb. You're so
put me
dumb.
back in the tank.
Yeah, just let me die in the tank rather than here on the side of the road.
Did they make a comment of, or did I dream it, that they're like, if the whale goes down the mountain, it would like confuse. Maybe it was me. Maybe
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
talking
you
to my
made
wife
that
about
up,
it,
but it's
like,
that's too clever for this movie.
like imagine the whale coming off the truck and rolling down the mountain, and then they just leave the scene, and then someone wakes up and they're like, "Holy, there's a whale in the woods."
Yeah,
Why?
how'd that get here?
There's a scene in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where this like whale comes into existence, and he's like it's a whole convoluted reason why this happens, and it like his whole life pattern is he's like falling through the air towards the ground, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. Anyway, if you haven't read those books, you should read that.
We do need to give some props to Randolph for like trying to lift a trailer, a 7-ton orca off of a mud cliff. Like, good effort, guy.
He's
A
very
for
spiritual.
effort.
He's like, to him, anything could happen.
I guess.
I'll try it.
Well, eventually, Jesse calls Glenn to get help, and Glenn's like, "I'm on my way." So they show up, and this is the funniest line of the movie for me. Glenn shows up, and he's like, "What are you doing with my truck?" Oh, and the whale. He was like, "Why is my truck here? There's also a whale, but I need to know about my truck." And I was like, this man never let go of that car situation. I can tell. And eventually, Jesse convinces Glenn to help. He's like, they're gonna kill Willy. Help us free Willy. And Glenn's like, I can't resist freeing a good Willy, you know. And so he's like, well, did you get the chain and the winch out of the truck? It's behind the seat. And Randall's like, I didn't look behind the seat. And I'm like,
I tried to use my own muscles.
I just tried to lift the trailer rather than looking for the remote for the winch.
He's like, I got your chain and winch right here. I don't know why you need to get.
And he flexed his arms. That's what he did. Yeah. Well, they eventually do get the truck out, and they're heading through town. There's kind of a couple of little dumb things that happen. Instead of just going like right to the harbor, they stop at a car wash, which thank goodness they do, because the bad guys just drive right by them and miss the whale going into the car wash. They went to the car wash because Willy was too dry, and you don't want Willy to get too dry. And so they're spraying him with the pressure washer. I do like this. Two unhoused people are walking by, and they're like, hey, man, nice whale. And Randolph's like, oh, thanks. It's just a great little scene. Well,
Honestly, might be my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
Not to disparage all the whale love that happens around that part, but I do like that part a lot. Yeah.
Well, eventually, they get the truck to the marina, but the bad guys are waiting. I guess they figured, like, there's only one place that you can land a whale, and it's at the marina.
Also, it goes from midnight to 8 in the morning. Like,
quick.
why? What happened? Where were we traveling from? I thought we lived near the water.
Yeah, they were like literally right next to the water, and they went on like a 40-hour road trip with a foster kid sitting in the back of an open-ended trailer going 60 miles down the interstate. Like, strike 4.
on an open trailer with a killer whale. Like,
Yeah,
good
I
Lord.
Makes
don't
no
know.
sense. Did they
That
just not
is-
want to film this at night because there's a lot going on? We want to be able to see. We need to make it morning now.
That is hilarious that they were like right next to the ocean at the park, but they're like, nah, we got to take a detour. Like maybe there's not a ramp. I don't know. I feel like there's a workaround. There's got to be a workaround to if you're like right next to the water where his family already was.
Yeah, his family was right there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they get to the marina, and man, Dial is just standing there grinning. He's locked the two like just measly little gates, and he's like, no way to get in here. And Glenn, who we have learned earlier in the movie, says that he's a rule breaker, guys. He breaks some rules.
Yeah.
He drives that truck right through those gates.
He did it for Willy and Jesse. Mostly Willy, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's where I go through. What he does, he drives that truck that he loves right. And I like that the guys are still standing there like, hey, man, does he realize what he's doing? Hey, quit. Oh, no, he's going to run us over. And then so they get out of the way. He rails through the gate. He pops a quick turnaround, and he splashes the trailer, his truck, and Willy all into the water. And Willy's like, yeah, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted from all this riding
He's probably
around.
like motion sickness, probably.
God.
He's got mosquitoes in his eyes, like he can't see because he's hit so many on the drive over.
He's like, this tank's bigger though. It's gonna be nice when I get out in it. Well, I don't know why he talks like he's from Southwest Virginia, but
and he's high off exhaust.
Yeah, he's like gonna pass out.
So anyway, everybody hops out of the truck. The bad guys, instead of driving down there, decide to run down. So they kind of are running down as they're trying to get Willy out, and there's just pandemonium. It breaks out. Bad guys are jumping on the good guys, and at some point, Wade just straight up. Now Dial doesn't get in the water. He just slow walks down because he's like, I don't get wet for nobody, not even Willy. And Dial's right hand, Wade jumps in the water and grabs Jesse. Man, Glenn don't take to that. He's like, get your hands off my boy, and pow, right straight to the kisser.
Yeah, he's like, I'm leasing that kid.
Yeah, don't damage my property.
I signed papers. Well, they managed to get Willy off the sling into the water. But then, oh my God, man, Dial has just got plans within plans. This is clearly a fake whale there, by the way.
Really? Okay, thank you.
Just plans within plans within plans. Dial has. He's got some fishing boats that he arranged to be out there that can spread a net out that Willy can't escape. And you see, and this kind of got me a little bit. You see Willy swim back into the net, and it's like, oh man, it's like his childhood trauma all over again. Poor Willy.
Yeah, he probably froze, like his flight or fight response kicked in, and he was like, nah, I'm just going to stay here in this marina.
Yeah, I don't like it. And so anyway, Jesse realizes what the score is, that Willy's not going to be able to get out. So he's like, Willy, follow me. Come on over here, Willy. And Willy sort of these boats just stay where they are. Presumably they don't know how to move any other direction than just to block the entryway to the marina. Now,
Also, Kevin, as a whale expert, do you think Willy, near all these big boats go making their boat noises, is he going to hear a boy on the beach 100 yards away screaming, Willy, come follow me, Willy? Is that how the whales hear that far? I don't know.
Most people know, but they're going to hear Jesse. They're going to hear the whale whisperer. Okay. He's going to hear him. He also splashes his hand in the water, Travis. Okay. Clearly, Willy would have heard the hand splashing. So Willy comes over. Now, you've got to imagine this. I know everybody's probably seen this on the movie poster, but these are jagged rocks. Like, this is high risk, high reward, what Jesse is proposing. But he explains to Willy, first of all, he doesn't want him to forget him, and then he loves him, and they have a little moment there.
Yeah, most importantly.
Yeah, most important, because he knows Willy's probably going to die trying to jump over this wall. But he's like, go, Willy, go. And we've never seen him training Willy to jump over anything. And Willy's like, all right, I get it. I get what you want. So he backs up and he gets a swimming start. And like before he does though, like
it's true, Willy doesn't know that there's water on the other side. He could just be jumping onto
a parking lot. Like
he's
a Denny's.
Blindly, he's like Randolph. He's like, all right, Jesse, let's do it.
Jesse is like an inspirational figure. He inspires people to do. He should be like the president or something. Well, anyway, as Willy is backing up, both Jesse and Randolph say that whale prayer. They kind of whisper it to themselves. A little bit of spirituality there to give Willy that extra boost. I love Ray is like, can Willy actually jump that? Should we be encouraging this?
Yeah.
And Randolph's like, weird happens, I guess. I don't know.
Like, oh.
And so Willy, sure enough, he does. Willy does this flying bad CGI leap. I mean, it's like clearly a fake whale in that CGI leap, Travis. And boom, splashes. Look, man, I'm a sucker at heart. Like when Willy made it to the other side and Jesse's like screaming, and I was like, man, I'm in it. I'm in this movie for this moment. Like it is a great payoff to see Willy. Willy, like the way they CGI'd this, Willy jumps like 3,000 feet. Like it's like 4 football fields. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I have another fun fact about that scene specifically. They actually like got a rocket launcher and launched the animatronic out of a rocket launcher, and then at some point they laid the CGI over like to take it the rest of the way. Like it was like the first part rocket launcher, CGI, Free Willy. Like it just makes sense.
Man, do you think they were like they're like, look, guys, do we need this thing anymore? Because I got an awesome idea. Like, we're not using this anymore. Okay, we're shooting it out of a rocket launcher. It's going to be, amazing. Well, do
you have a rocket launcher that can shoot whales? I mean, we had that in the 90s.
Yeah, man. It was new technology, but yeah, it came out with just around that time. Dial still hates that whale. Just so you know, once the whale jumps over, he still hates it. Jesse watches Willy swim away. And he says goodbye to him, even though Willy probably is like, man, I'm out of here. I got what I wanted out of that stupid kid. And the Greenwoods come over. Jesse says thanks and hugs him. And then they're like, all right, well, let's go home. And you're like, dude, you were going to jail. Like, you have destroyed a lot of private property. He might have tried to murder this whale, and you did the right thing, but that's not going to matter to the police. They are about to tombstone you. Undertaker style. Bam. That's what I kept saying. Pile driver, and his finishing move is a tombstone. I got it right at the end.
See, I wish Free Willy 2 had been Jesse locked up in prison and Willy's got to get him out.
He's going to break him out. That's exactly what I thought.
That'd be way better.
But that's it, guys. Great. Credits, more whale footage, a 1-800 number if you want to help out the Orcas. I didn't dial it to see if it still worked, but we also get a Michael Jackson song at the end. Will You Be There?
That got me.
Yeah.
Like that. If you watched this movie when it came out as a kid, like, and you then ever heard the "Will You Be There" song, this is what you thought about was this movie, this end scene of Willy being freed. So it goes on a little long, kind of like the opening credits. Like they play the entire song, which is super long, and they even include the like journaling statements at the end of that Michael Jackson song where he's just talking about like desperation. I don't know, but
I think
that part was even in there.
I think they were just so excited to have Michael Jackson working on the project because they knew they could like at least sell some movie tickets if Michael Jackson was associated with it. Maybe you know, I don't know, but yeah, man, that's it, man. That's a wrap. What did you guys? So, Christina. In retrospect, what do you think of Free Willy?
Seeing it through the eyes of my younger self initially, I loved it. Every kid wants to be like a marine biologist. So like the idea that, hey, any kid, even a delinquent child, could one day work in a marine park. Like that's super relatable. And like that could be me. And then, the kid did something right. And then Willy also got what they wanted at the end. It was just a really good feel-good movie. Watching it now, it still evoked those kind of like feel-good feelings. But then you also look at other things. Like when I was a kid, I didn't really kind of grasp the fraudulent insurance things that were going on. But as an adult, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. I still think it's good. I think kids would love it.
Yeah, I think so, man. Here at Uncle Doug, we do have a rating scale. 0 trucker hats to 6 trucker hats, Christina. A 0 in the world of Free Willy would be just a foam board that's painted black and white. It's clearly just a kickboard just sitting in the water, tilted to the side. A 6 is going to be a full pod of killer whales free in the Alaskan waters, just ripping it, jumping, having a great time. How many trucker caps do you give Free Willy?
I think this is an unfair rating scale because I do like me some trucker hats. And I also think it's unfair because I couldn't tell the difference between a white and black kickboard, boogie board, and a real whale anyway. I would give it as a 6 pegs for my younger 11-year-old self and a 6 pegs as an adult as well.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, pegs. It's not right. That's our rating scale on our show. Trucker hats. My bad.
Yeah. Trucker hats. I think I'm going to come in at you know what? I'm going to go a solid 4 on this one because there's some stuff in it that doesn't work. But, man, when certain scenes hit, like there's a couple scenes where he kind of cries out and I just feel for him. And I think about like how genuinely miserable it must be for a creature that's used to the entire ocean to be in a tiny tank like all day, every day, swimming in circles. It's just... it's something about that just gets me, you know? And the fact that he's free at the end, that he jumps 6,000 feet, and it's so satisfying because the bad guys are foiled and Willy is free again. It's like, man, I'm done, you know? Travis, what about you, buddy?
I think 4's about right for me, too. I didn't watch it. I somehow dodged it as a kid. I just didn't. I don't know what it was. I know a lot of other kids liked it. Maybe that's why I didn't want to watch it.
Did your sister like this movie?
Probably. And I was like, man, what she likes sucks. I'm going to continue to just hate what she likes and be miserable. And
how's she doing, by the way?
Great. Why?
So I just think about your sister sometimes, Travis.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I thought. This is weird.
Shout out, Sissy.
Yeah. I don't know that she's ever listened to a podcast, but any, not just ours, just any in general.
No, I mailed her some of those CDs of the podcast.
Oh, that's weird that you
and you were
going to
reimburse me for the postage on those. Anyway, it's fine.
Sure, I won't do that. Four trucker hats. I bought every single fake whale in here. I thought they were all real. I thought Keiko was the most amazing creature ever until today. Now I've realized total sham, fake whale. Not even that impressive. Most of it was fake.
When you say total sham, do you mean total shamu?
I was hoping you would say that.
No.
I was hoping you'd say that. But I like it as a kids movie. I think it's very fun. I think it's and even watching it as an adult, there's a lot to make fun of, which makes it more fun. So I think it's good. Four hats for me.
Yeah, I do. Just so I've said it, I'm against whales being in captivity. I think that's bad. I just wanted to make sure that I've
super bad.
I've said that.
Although this movie did free Keiko from captivity.
It did, yeah. A full,
yeah.
I think 8 years. I think after the movie was made, 5. Yeah.
It took 8 years after the movie, but it lived 5 years outside of captivity and died of pneumonia, which is terribly sad.
But still got to live free, which is good, and that is kind of cool that there was such public outcry because of this movie. Like, why don't you let him go? Yeah. Speaking of humans not being great, Travis, how about some of those post-credit reviews?
Yeah, I've got a few here. Let's zip through real quick. We've got one here, a 4-star from Rick, 29 January of 2023 says, "Men will literally trap orcas for profit rather than go to therapy."
Yeah, those fishermen with their binoculars, dude.
So true, right? This next one here, we got 4 stars from Natural Magic. March 18, 2022 says, "I've been stressed out many times in my life, but then again, I've never had to illegally transport a killer whale on a trailer through a forest road in the middle of the night."
Yet.
That did seem stressful. When it got stuck, I was like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, it was over for me.
Let me ask you, I'm just curious what you guys would say. Let's say you're in Ray's position, all right? You get a call, hey, come down to the park, okay? You get out, and you run up. They've got Willy kind of like, they're rigging up a sling, and they're like, we're going to take him out, and we're going to free him because the owners try to kill him. What do you do? Do you help them?
Oh, 100%. But I think it was also her idea to take the back roads so that no one would see them. So it's kind of her fault.
That is true.
I mean, I wasn't going to blame her for it, but you wouldn't be like, guys, I didn't see this. I don't know what's happening. I'm out of here.
Kevin, how often do you get proposition to free a killer whale? You do it.
What's
you do the
what's today? Tuesday? It's like 3 times.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times this week.
Yeah. What about you, Travis?
To free the whale? Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Travis, what about you, buddy? Are you gonna get Willy free?
I got a bad back. I can't be out there hoisting whales around. I can't be doing that. I know a guy that can help you. I'd give him a guy.
Okay, all right, okay. So you would kind of help, but not expressly help. I got you. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'd be like, I'm tied up. I gotta watch my daughter. But I tell you what, I'd get out of it.
That's exactly what you tell me when I invite you over to play board games. Weird. Anyway, Travis, how about those?
So we got a 2.5er here from Cameron, August 6th of 2017, a while back. They say, first of all, they say they have irony here. They have the phonetic pronunciation of irony and include it as a noun. Make sure we understand that irony is a noun. And it says, using a captive whale trained to perform and do tricks for people's amusement in a movie about how keeping whales captive so they can perform and do tricks for people's amusement is cruel. Sorry, that was a little tough to read. But yeah, we've made that point a couple of times, but this person really went complete smarmy with that point.
I'm actually going to make that point again in my closing thoughts. So I'm glad that someone agrees with me here, Travis. I know that your favorite thing is exploiting animals. You have come out numerous times saying that you think it's hilarious. And hey man, I respect you and your opinion, and that's fine. But I just think you're wrong. That's all.
A lot of slander from you today. Okay. We'll deal with that later. And then lastly, and leastly, we have one here from someone who goes by Lanny or Lance, and that is their full screen name, Lanny or Lance. So I don't know which one, Lanny or Lance, you tell me. But it's October 27th of 2017. Again, a half star. And the review only says, super weird title card.
That's the most accurate review of this movie that I think that it just catches you. It's the ugliest title card I've ever seen, and they're like all in on it. They're like, we need this to transition to another. It's so bad.
For a blockbuster film that paid for a fake whale and a very good real whale and Michael Jackson's music, they spent 1 minute on that title card. And I don't think Lanny or Lance made it past the title card when they came here to rate the film, to be honest. Well,
who cares what they think? What about what I think? Well, Travis, I'm glad you asked that. In your so subtle way. Thank you, Travis. But on a budget of $20 million, Free Willy went on to gross over $157.3 million and led to 2 sequels: Free Willy 2, The Adventure Home, and Free Willy 3, The Rescue, an eventual reboot, and an animated series, and we've just discovered as well a board game. It even led to the actual release back into the wild of Keiko, the whale star of the film, in 2002. So that was actually, I guess that's a little long. I guess that's 9 years after the making of the movie. Making Keiko the first captive orca to ever be released back into the wild due to the new public scrutiny into the treatment of orcas. All right, ostensibly, the film is about how it is wrong to keep whales in captivity for human amusement, starring a whale that was kept in captivity for human amusement and then released. Is that irony or what? I'm glad somebody agrees with me. Now, the film itself has become a staple for children for more than 30 years since its release. In fact, there are probably quite a few now adults who have fond memories of their beleaguered science teacher wheeling in the TV cart to show you Free Willy because whales are science and Miss Dowdy just needs a minute to herself. Whether it was then or now, the timeless themes in this film of family and standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves rings true in a way that'll put a tear in your eye and a splash to your fin.
Oh, that was beautiful. I didn't mean to laugh. I thought that was well done. I thought that was well said.
Oh, thank you, Travis. I felt like it was okay. I felt like it was pretty good.
No, it was good.
Well, speaking of things,
there was another tagline that I think does a really good job of summarizing the film that you could have ended on, Kevin, as well.
Hit me with it.
It says, "A friendship you could never imagine, an adventure you'll never forget."
Wow.
Oh no, deep.
Really good.
Man. Yeah, I like it.
It's true, actually.
Yeah. That is definitely one thing you could say about a Willy. Now, Travis, we'd like to give people a little hint around here about what our next movie. Have you got a hint for our next movie?
And these are always very tough because I hardly ever seen the movies that we cover. But I'll try. How can a man change his destiny when his past won't let him go?
Travis, I'm not going to forgive you for that remark.
Ah,
In fact,
good.
Yeah, I'm not going to forgive you for that remark. So, but that's the next one. Christina, thank you so much for being here. This was so fun.
It was so fun. I feel like I have learned a lot about animatronic whales and what to look for to spot the fakies.
So I could guarantee that you're going to make Harper sit down and watch this movie with you, and you guys are going to try to pick out the fake whales and the real whales. I bet that's 100%.
Well, I'm going to give it to her science teacher and like make that a project for her class.
Well,
what's the real whale?
Exactly. Well, again, thank you so much for being on. I'm sorry about Travis. He's always like this.
You slander so much, Kevin. I'm a competent co-host. You're so mean.
I'm just Travis.
I do all the segments.
You do all the and you're so snappy and witty and clever, and your beard is coming in well.
Right.
And
okay,
if I mentioned that I really love your Nest Friend videos, anyway, can you reimburse me for that postage?
We'll see. We will see. But, folks, if you enjoyed this episode, you might like our other podcasts that Kevin is not on. You can catch me on a pile of other podcasts on the Poly Media Network. But if you do happen to like Kevin, and, of course, you definitely like Christina, you can find them on the board gaming podcast, Blue Peg, Pink Peg. If you like orcas and want to support conservation, check out www.wildorca.org. And drop them a few bucks. I'll put a link in the show notes. And hey, if you like this show and you want to keep us freeing our willies, support us on Patreon at the Polymedia Network. You can go to patreon.com/polykill. Find a tier that works for you. As always, we'd like to thank Harvest Black for that big splash of a theme song. And just like our Uncle Doug always says,
I believe in you, Willy. You can do it. You could be free. Come on. Record. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, I have 6 hours left on my card, so that's the limit, guys.